Hey, how's it going, Darcel? Hey, Mare. Still trying to get it focused and a little bit of focus flop. How's the audio? Sound okay? Hi, Cheyenne. What's up, Clovis? It's going great. Good night so far. Clear night. We got Saturn and the moon tonight. Be a lot of fun. Audio's good. Great. I didn't know if we want to listen to music or just the ambient background noise here. There's gonna be a lot of crickets. Let me turn off the music real quick. I don't know if that's too annoying or not. Porque estaba todo. Oh, and a foto. How to translate the Que hermoso sabe Saturn, ¿no? De mucho bonito, eh? Check the first one. Oh, nice. So yeah, we're hanging out with Saturn first, and then here in a bit we're gonna swing around and look at the moon. Just waiting for the moon to come up above the trees. The moon that you see here on the right side of Saturn is going to be the moon Titan. Titan's the second largest moon in our solar system. Give it a little bit more brightness here. You guys want the music or just the ambient background noise here? They'll have crickets. Oh wait, good moon, good. Hey, Christianity. Move it up a little higher. This telescope, if anybody's wondering, it actually tracks objects across the sky. So for something like Saturn, it'll just track it as we rotate and as these objects also move. Yeah, though. Bring down some of the brightness here. Andrew, thank you so much for the sub, bud. Appreciate you. Get a little bit more details off of Saturn by doing this. Beautiful planet, ain't it? Very majestic. And of course, if you want to see the moons, we need more brightness. And get enough, we'll see a few more moons. See one right on the left. And I see two, and then Titan out there. Hi, Sarkzu. How are you doing? It's like a star above Titan. This is. It's using the 11-inch telescope tonight. The one you see on the bottom there. The camera that's sitting right next to the telescope. Hold up just a bit more. And maybe a little left. There we go. Yeah, it's a really nice telescope. Beautiful telescope. It's going to be a lot of fun. We look at the moon here in a minute. And just as soon as it comes up over the tree, be able to swing over and take a look at some of the impact craters. It'll be a really beautiful view. We're going to be zoomed in quite a bit. We'll be really looking up close and personal with it. Translate that real quick. I wish YouTube had like an automatic translation. City Box all out. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thanks for the sub. There we go. That's on the wreck me away. On the news day. Dude, I hear you, man. Absolutely, dude. Today was horrible. Hey, Kelly, how you doing? Welcome in. Yeah, today's news is just horrible. Glad to be here. I waited until midnight my time before I went live tonight. It was a really good time to get Saturn high enough and then the moon gets. Yes, Don. Marcel said hi again. I'm having to translate all the Persian conversation here. There we go. You guys want the music or stick with just the background noise here of all the crickets, loud crickets that we have? Let's need to pull it over a little closer, huh? Get it centered a little better. Hey, Thelma. Love the crickets. They're so noisy here. Super loud. You can never say hi too many times. This is true. Makes up for all the times I missed your lives. I got you. I appreciate you being here, by the way. Definitely glad to have you here tonight. Glad to have everybody here. Again, we're going to be looking at Saturn for just a bit. And then once the moon gets above the tree line here, then we'll swing over to the moon as well. We'll check out the moon up close and personal. There's the all-sky camera right above the observatory if you want to see it. It's calming, huh? So this is the all-sky camera right above us. You can see the moon. It's coming up. You can see where Saturn is and where the telescope's at near the bottom. Kind of shows all the targets right above the observatory as well. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it, man. Again, we're looking at Saturn here, and then on the right, that little tiny dot, if you got your phone screen bright enough, you'll see Titan there. That would be the second largest moon in our solar system. It has a massive atmosphere and a bit larger than the planet Mercury. Very majestic. Yeah, Saturn's very majestic. We may stack Saturn here in a bit too and just get like a really nice clean view of what Saturn looks like. Stacking process, when we do it through a telescope, what it is for a camera, it only gets so many frames per second, or the FPS, same as most people would know by like playing games and such. So it takes each one of those frames and it just stacks them on top of each other. And by doing so, what it'll do is throw out some of the bad ones, whether we get turbulence or whatever. And it just gives us a really beautiful, clean view of Saturn. If I can do some focus for. I'll bring down some of the light and you'll start to see some of the striation on Saturn. Focus a little off. We get some of the striation. Should be able to also see the ring coming around on the front side. I don't know how well you guys can see it on your end. A little out of focus. It does look really good tonight. Saturn's looking really beautiful. Let me pull it over. Get the telescope and move over just a bit more. And pull it up. Hey Ryan, how's it going? Welcome in. Again, this telescope here is on the EQ6R Pro mount. This telescope actually tracks objects through the sky, which makes it really nice for these type of viewing. If you ever use a telescope and had to manually track something, it is not fun at all. But any telescope is better than no telescope. Yeah, we'll bring back in a few of the moons real quick here. Looks like we got a little better tracking. Or not tracking, but focus. Thomas Shoemaker crashing Jupiter back in 94. Ah, through a family friend skill. I'll never forget. Crazy. Yeah, that's super crazy. That's awesome. Shoemaker now is on the moon. In the form of ashes, of course. How much of them do you have? Right now, probably we're pushing about 400 to 450 or so. We try to get a few more of the moons come through. We get a few more to pop in here. I'll be able to see a handful right now. Why it's so bright so we can see the moons. We'll pull it out of the brightness here in a minute. But this is the only way we can see the moons. Obviously, they're dimmer targets, so as we drop the exposure, then we'll be able to see Saturn a little better, but we just won't see the moons, obviously. Two different controls, obviously. One you see the moons, the other one you see the planet Saturn. Are they on the same plane? Very close. Very close. They orbit a very fine difference in the plane that they orbit around Saturn. Gotta translate all this real quick. You're welcome. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Alman. Oh, copy it. There we go. And there we go. little bit more moving up here. And I need to sync the actually I should here clear. The way the planetarium's kind of a little bit more. How's the air there? Pretty decent. It's not the worst. There's a little bit of turbulence I noticed, but tonight's not the worst by far. It's probably kind of like a 6 out of 10. Kansas City. Okay, near Kansas City. You're welcome. Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button if you do enjoy this. Decided to bring all my content over here to YouTube. It seems to be a lot less stressful to stream over here for some reason. It seems a lot more community focused as well, which is super important to the things that I do, obviously, with astronomy outreach or science outreach. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with us. And again, make sure you hit subscribe and turn on notifications if you want to be able to check out these live streams I do them here. How many days and nights will you be able to see this? Saturn? We'll see for quite a while now. Through about December is really good viewing from my observatory, but roughly into about February. Not a giant ball of gas. I mean, notice how it's a giant ball of gas and not a luminary? Joseph? What's your favorite crayons to eat? What's your favorite color, man? No proof it's a ball of gas, except we can use spectroscopy and see the signatures. And we took Cassini into it. I mean, there's that. I mean, you don't have to believe in science. It's okay, man. But science will always believe in you. Science will always believe in you. Every night that is clear, you'll be able to see Saturn. Yeah. We're coming up on planetary season right now. You just trust that other people did the science? I mean, I trust that I do the science as well, obviously. Saturn, it is. No, this Saturn. This beautiful Saturn tonight. Hey, Netta. I'll pull it over a little better in the telescope here. There we go. And again, we're going to be hitting the moon here shortly. Be going over the moon here quickly. But it's really far away. No, it is. It actually is right now. It's just under 800 million miles away. It's coming inwards, though. We're going to be near the end of the month. We'll be in opposition, which means it's closest approach to us for the year. Closest approach and on the opposite side of us compared to the sun. So basically right over your head at midnight. Is Titan visible? It is. Yeah, let me turn up some brightness. You see it on the right side there. Are you looking forward to the Three Eyes approach? Will you try to focus your telescope on it? I would love to. The only problem is right now, it's by the time it gets dark enough, it's right at the horizon. So I'm not gonna disagree or agree with you. I mean, obviously that's what beliefs are for, right? That's our thoughts. But at the end of the day, man, we do science. Science means that things that we can physically test, that we can prove and repeatedly do so, right? But yeah, it don't need to be about religion at all, man. Politics and religion really don't need to be here. I appreciate that, Angela, or Angelito. Muchas gracias. Are there Saturn's moons? Yep. You can see 4 moons here, and then you'll see a star on the right side. What's really fun, if you see the star just on the right side of the moon Titan there, that if you watch it, that star is going to move a different at a different rate compared to the moons and the planets that we're watching. Yeah, science wins every time. Luminaire, that's no bleep, dude. Have a good night, buddy. Have a good night. You can only go so far. Tight pockets, I tell you. Imagine if Saturn and Mars swapped. I mean, it'd be wild, right? How crazy cool would that be? This live footage from telescope. Yep, the telescope's on the bottom. You want me to go tap it? You can see kind of how it shakes as I tap it. How many moons does the planet have? 274, if I remember right now. Let me pull it up though, just to make sure. This number just keeps changing. Yeah, 274 moons. That's the moon king of our solar planet, or solar system. Sorry. It is crazy. It is really crazy. It is really crazy. The range of the telescope. It's not about the range. When you talk about a telescope, telescopes really don't have a range. It's what light can it pick up. It's just a light receiver, right? The light has to make it to us, and then the telescope picks it up. Now there is what's called a maximum usable magnification, and you also have maximum usable magnitude, which is just how bright something is. This telescope here runs a magnitude of around, if I remember right, I think it's around magnitude 14 or so, which is fairly faint. We find so many moons everywhere else, but we don't count all the junk following Earth as moons. I mean, we have we have quasi-moons around us. We just got one permanent moon. A moon being an object that's a natural satellite that orbits its planet, and it like a quasi-moon, like I think I can't even remember the name now. Kamo'olawa, for example. Kamo'olawa is a quasi-moon of the beautiful Earth, and it's a captured object that becomes orbital around Earth until the tidal forces or the gravity from the sun picks it up and starts to pull it away from us. Do you do such lives like this often? I'm trying to bring it over here to YouTube. I'll try to be live about every night as long as we got clear skies. Can it pick up a 3-eye atlas? Yes, as long as it was above the horizon during the nights, obviously. Right now, 3-eye is right near the southwest horizon for me as the sun sets. Pluto and its moons are the craziest. Yeah, they do. It's kind of like Earth itself. Earth and the moon. The moon technically don't orbit Earth. We have what's called the barycenter. Barycenter is the point of orbit, and take on the solar system. The barycenter for the planets normally are inside the sun. The only one it isn't is going to be Jupiter, just on the outer edge. And same for our moon. Our moon and Earth orbit around the barycenter of to each other, and it's just outside of Earth. Get midnight ice cream munchies and watching the Saturn glow. That's awesome. Hey, what's up, Paul? How's it going? Have you seen it? 3-eye? I have not with my personal equipment yet. You're in Egypt at the moment? No, I'm in the United States. I am located in the United States, near Kansas City. If we can bring down some of the brightness again, check out Saturn. This majestic view that it gives us. Pull it up a little bit better. Ah, Springfield, nice. 417 area. Yeah, again, the telescope's on the bottom. Let me, I don't know if you guys want to check out the telescope or not a little bit, but just let me know if you guys ever want to check out the telescope. I'm sitting inside, this is an observatory where I'm at. There's two facilities to the observatory, one where the telescopes are located, and then the other one in the control room, as it'd be easier to say, which is where I'm actually sitting at. Want to see the telescope? Yeah, we can definitely do that. Philippine chair. Oh, what is it? It's morning time, so Magadang Magapo. Alright, give me just a second. Let me turn off the outside microphone. See if I can do this properly. Because otherwise, so there's one microphone sitting right next to the telescope. I wonder if you can actually hear it. Yeah, I'm in the USA. Let me see if I can just walk out and use the microphone that's right there. So give me 2 seconds here. Go through the door and should be right next to it. Okay. So hopefully the microphone here is picking me up. It's kind of difficult. Let's see what I can do. Turn the camera screen. Oh, maybe. So here's a telescope that we're using currently. Get everything to focus with me. This is the mount. This is the EQ6R Pro mount. Let's see if I can focus. And of course, back up just a bit here. You see the moon coming up on that side. And if we can focus out here, barely see it probably, but it'll be Saturn up here. See roughly about there. Alright, let me quit making noise out here. It's probably super noisy. Okay. That's super noisy? I'd assume that's kind of noisy. Try to get everything reset here. Pull up the telescope a bit more. Saturn, it is. Jupiter, not up yet. Not up just yet. Disabler, can you home in on it? We can home in on it. Depends on the night. Is this real or not? Yeah, that's real. Telescope that you're looking at. Let me see. Let me turn off that. Let's see if I can do this. I'll just go out here and just tap the telescope. You can see it shake as I tap it. Okay. Hopefully you're able to see that. Alright. You show other planets. Probably Neptune is going to be the easiest thing that we can probably get to right now. And then, of course, we're going to do the moon. The moon is going to be the next target for us. Thanks, Jens. What's up, brother? I see you, man. Make sure I get you on here, by the way. Gotcha. Hi, leaders. How's it going? Dean, how's it going? Netta, hey. Not the best view you can get of it. Then they can not just determine any of the actual feature of the planet. Well, there's a couple of things there. We can stack it and get a much better view. And of course, what I see on my side is a little bit cleaner than what I can get to go through when it's streaming. Hey, Dubs. But we can definitely stack it and you get a good view. There's much larger telescopes out there that give you better views. Sometimes you have a better atmosphere and you get a better view. But also you got stuff like Cassini that went out towards Saturn and then eventually vaporized in Saturn's atmosphere. Turn on a laser? Yeah, it wouldn't work. From Montana, man, got the big sky country now. This is Kansas City. Alberta, nice. Welcome in. Yeah, you're welcome, Sasha. Not a problem. It's super smoky there. Yeah. A lot of that smoke's been coming down here as well. Is this mono RGB? RGB. It's a one-shot camera. Hey, what's up, Southern Cross Aviation? How you doing, bud? I'm not even too pick it out there. That's funny. That's really funny. That's actually really funny. Here comes the moon skin. We'll turn up the brightness again. Kind of one of my favorite views is getting to see moons around planets out there. Have you personally seen anything that you couldn't explain through a telescope? It is really hard to ever see anything in a telescope that's in motion per se, like in a high velocity motion. Just in the USA, it is. If you're caught sight of alien activities while observing, no, I have not. But I have not. We bring back in our crickets, I guess. On the outside microphone. I can see the spot with my binoculars. The moon? Is that what you're speaking of, or no? Or Saturn itself? Maybe we can pull out the brightness, obviously. And we can actually stack it as well. To the bottom right? Yeah, that was Titan. You're seeing Titan down there. Second largest moon in the solar system. Hey, Kenneth, how you doing? So, yeah, it's really far away. I was kind of actually confused on the question, though. I can see the spot with my binoculars. I'm not sure what spot you mean. Ringmaker of Saturn. I believe I may have read one like that. The Ringmakers of Saturn. I'll have to check. I may have read it already. The moonskin, so I wasn't sure what it is. Ooh, I must have missed something there. I don't know why I said moonskin. Could be my microphone not picking up. Right now we have a ton of smoke coming down from Canada, obviously. Hey, thanks, Ring Quellier. I appreciate you, bud. Favorite big spot is Saturn. This is Saturn. Is the moon out in USA? It is. We're going to be swinging over to it here in a minute. Other planets about the same age? Roughly about the same age. Yeah, I'm not too sure what moonskin was. Here soon we will be swinging over to the moon, though. And then, of course, we're seeing some of Saturn's moons. I'll bring some of the moons back in real quick. Should be able to see about 4 around Saturn. I turned the brightness really high. I see what looks like a star on the right side, of course. If I can do a little bit of focus, I get a little better view too. Came up over 400 millimeter lens. 400 millimeter? What? Or 400 millimeter telescope. Like that's geez, is that 16 inch? No, look that up. Yeah, 16-inch telescope. Holy moly. Yeah. A big telescope. 100, 400 millimeter. Oh, okay, for your camera. Oh, okay. I got you now. For your DSLR. I got you. That makes sense now. I got you. Thanks, Domestic. Appreciate it. Be good for a moonshot. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Cody. What's up, buddy? How's it going, man? This telescope right now that I'm using is the 11 SE, Celestron Nexstar, or the C11, a 11-inch Smith-Cassegrain grain telescope. Which side is Saturn, bro? What exactly do you mean? Which side is this? It's always rotating. It's going to be the daylight side. That helps you. That's the daytime side of Saturn. How far can you lower the exposure? Until there's nothing left. Until there's almost nothing left on this. Obviously, I don't want to go way too crazy. Right about here is pretty good viewing for Saturn. And then we can stack it. Let me try to stack it real quick first. We'll get kind of a really cool view. How far is Saturn? How far away is Saturn? Just under 800 million miles away. Let's see if we can stack it real quick, though. See what it does. If we got a decent atmosphere, then this might work. It just depends on the atmosphere, though. See what it does here. I can't even tell if it's coming through the streaming software properly. You can see the RGB channels trying to line up on it. First there, I'm starting to view the southern hemisphere of Saturn. Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe over roughly 14.5 years. Can you see Saturn's moons? We can. Yeah, it's coming. Is it coming through like kind of crazy? It looks kind of wild on my side though. I'm not sure how well it's coming through on the stream. Looks a little wild on my side. On my screen it looks good though. But not on the stream side. Has a little bit of that orangish reddish color to it, which is going to be a little bit of that smoke that we have in the sky here, the Canadian wildfire smoke. Jupiter's not out yet. Nope, not yet. First time I watched Jupiter long enough to see one of the moons go around it, my life changed. Yeah, absolutely, that's awesome. Thanks, MB. Appreciate that. It is Saturn. Yeah, welcome in. Cody, how's your night, bud? I really see the toothpick through the olive. Love it. When you stacked it, look good? Okay, good. I wasn't sure how it actually looked on after it got, you know, pushed through Streamlabs and out on YouTube. Quite a bit of difference in the view what I see on my screen compared to what I see on like the Streamlabs side. Well, thanks, Hoyt. I appreciate it. And if you guys do enjoy this, make sure you hit the sub button. Subscribe to the channel. I'm sure you'll enjoy the things that we'll be able to bring here on YouTube Live, including not just planets, but galaxies, nebulae, stellar clusters, stellar nurseries, our moon, sometimes even the sun of the day. Not so fun, though. The sun has just never been my thing. Live footage, just. You see enough of the spot is on the other side right now. Oh, the spot would be Jupiter. If you're speaking of the Great Red Spot, that'd be on Jupiter. Ah, okay. Nice. That's awesome, Cody. Super awesome. V-Master, what's up, bud? I see you. Can you look at the moon or no? Yes. Let's see here. Let me make sure it's up high enough. Where is my all sky? Anybody ever wants to know, skiesalive.com is the website for ours, and you can actually see the all sky camera. And every 10 seconds there's a new photo there of what's right above the observatory here. Just been sorting out my new PC setup. Oh, no way. Dude, that's awesome, man. I appreciate it, Cody. Yeah, I'm definitely glad to see you tonight. Abilities for cameras to get the same detail we see with our eyes through the lens. It's very tough. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree. What you see in the lens is so much clearer and crisp. Thanks, Candace. I appreciate that. You love the solar system? That's so, I appreciate having you here. Hi, Josie. Or Juicely. Sorry. Juicely, how are you doing? Just one tall glass of water. That's funny. Hi, Jojo. Alright. What was I doing? I don't even remember. I lost track of what I was doing here. I think we're going to check the moon, weren't we? Is that the plan? Let me sync on Saturn first. And then, on the planetarium here, I'm going to try to hit the moon. I think we're still in the trees, but we'll try. We can definitely try the moon. See if we are. Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Whee! Press sky we go. Let me turn down our brightness because this is going to be really bright. Make sure we pull up on it first. Oh, I just seen it. Really close. I can turn down the brightness just a bit and go the right way here. Alright, here comes the moon. Bright guy. Let it kind of calm down here too. Slow down the speed. Telescope. Is it too bright on your guys' side? Kind of does look like it, huh? I get some of the brightness out. Got some of these impact craters here. That's New York City. Fine. That's fine. That's too funny. That's super funny. Thanks, Dimitri. Appreciate that. Look at how just pelted our moon is. Bifocals for microscopes. Do we know of any of the moons or around moons? There are some moons that actually have moons around moons, but it doesn't fall into the same definition of what a moon is, because a moon orbits a planet. So it doesn't really fall under the definition of what a moon is. Let's see if we can focus a little better here. See what we can do. I'm going to really run the focuser here. Probably go out and then we'll come back in on it. See if we can get a really nice view. Actually, I got really close to it right there. That's not too bad. Literally looks like a golf ball. Yeah, it's so pelted. Yep, Southern Highlands here tonight. Pretty much the whole face of the moon is just impacts. The camera settling. What up? What's your question? We used to have a lot, obviously. We still do, though. There's still quite a bit, but Earth is just a little bit different. We're not we have an atmosphere, obviously, and things fill in. Like if you dig a hole in your yard and 10 years later go out and look at it, it's going to be filled in on you. But there are massive impact craters, some here in the United States. One of the oldest and largest ones in Africa, also in Australia. There's a massive one. It's Parmesan getting spaghetti fight. That ain't good. New Armstrong didn't? Yeah, I don't know who New Armstrong is either. Watching from India. Is it me watching the moon? Yes. Yeah, a lot of Earth ones have already been settled in. Sediment changes. A lot different than what we find on the moon, where you don't have the atmosphere, you don't have weather. You get a little bit of wind through like solar winds, obviously. Which eyepiece are you using, bro? No, I'm not. I'm using a dedicated camera hooked up to the telescope. I wonder how long it would take me to fill in one of these craters. These are massive. These are really massive impact craters that we see on the moon. Hey, what's up, Mo? How you doing? Neil Armstrong did land on the moon. It's true. That is true. Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. I don't remember who they tried to say. I said something else, Armstrong. This means that sooner or later this has to happen to Earth. I mean, it's happened to Earth. Roughly on the moon, though, large impacts we see roughly every about 10,000 years. And then when you look up, though, and you see the shooting stars we have at night, remember the moon doesn't have an atmosphere, so things don't burn up as they enter the atmosphere, similar to what we see here. And so they tend to pelt it. And it's always being hit, though. The moon's constantly being hit. Give myself a trigger finger. My string trimmer this yard. What? Oh, no. Can you zoom out to see the whole moon? The frame? I can't. Not with this setup. That's pretty much our view right now. And you can launch yeah, absolutely. Can you see it on the can see or land on the moon? It's near the South Pole. It's not even viewable from the USA, but it'd be too small of an object to see with this telescope. Most of these impact craters that we're seeing are 20 to about 60 miles wide. These are massive. Even though we're really zoomed in, this is still a very large area. The moon itself is about a quarter of the size of Earth, or just about the size of like the United States, for example. Comes to the most likely thing that gave us water. Probably, it's kind of a tough one, right? So, asteroids, the water molecules and everything we find represent more of what you would expect to see on like asteroids. So it's still in the air. We're not 100% sure. The moon is like a time capsule. Yep. You got geological sites that record data since the beginning of the solar system, at least since the beginning of the lunar formation, which is about 4.5 billion years ago. Would a 400 millimeter camera lens be good for the moon photos? Depends on your camera. You'd have to get your camera and understand what it needs for like the 400, like which millimeter lens you need based off your camera. Or the moon was brought here from another point in the universe. Most likely came from an impact called Theia. You ever see UFOs? I don't. Don't zoom too much, buddy. I am. Oh my goodness. You see the sun? Show me the sun once. It's nighttime, silly. Oh, you got a Canon R50 or the R50. The one on the bottom there is the Canon M50 Mark II. I'm not too sure of that camera though. The M50, what exactly you would need for it. Get to the core, man. Wonder what the moon core is made of. Mostly going to be iron. Mostly iron. There's going to be nickel, magnesium, stuff like that as well. Mostly iron. We got a beautiful moon, though. This is a really beautiful moon. Sir, which country are you from? United States, near Kansas City. I'm up here towards Copernicus crater. Go by Copernicus here. Yeah, how much of a mess it is. Alright, sounds good. I hope the dew stays away. Oh, it's so bad here tonight. The dew is horrible here. You can show the moon during the daytime. I mean, yeah, you can definitely do that. Not tonight, though. It's nighttime for me. Are those cities? Nope, these are younger impact craters. These bright areas that you see, this is the debris that was uncovered, basically, from the crust of the moon. Let me kind of take out some of the brightness so you can see it a little better. But it's where some of the debris was pulled out from underneath the crust, obviously. And you see the lines as well, and that's going to be called ejecta. So it's the younger, or the non-radiated debris that just hasn't been kind of pulled down in this type of view that we see with the Abila moon itself. Always been worried about the asteroid like an Armageddon hitting the moon, or even one a bit smaller hitting the moon. That'd be pretty wild, though. You are from the United States. This is night there. I am from India. It is day here. Oh, I got you. Yeah, it's nighttime here for us. It's currently nighttime. No sun for us tonight. Shoemaker Levi hitting Jupiter in 1994. No greater. Could be video. There's a lot of video of it getting torn apart and stuff. When you talk about Shoemaker Levi, and Jupiter don't get impact craters. The massive gas ball, mostly hydrogen, helium. They don't have the what you'd expect to see like terrestrial. Second impact crater, we can do that for sure. Here comes the Bay of Rainbows. The Bay of Rainbows is really interesting here. That almost looks like a shark took a bite out of the moon right there, right on the top. That's going to be the Bay of Rainbows. Why don't we ever see it get hit? There's some videos of it getting hit, especially like if you look up Japanese astronomer captures lunar impact. I can't remember if 2001 or 2021 or 2023, somewhere in there. This is going to be the Bay of Showers on the bottom here, the dark mass. The dark mass is going to be solidified lava. And then you got Plato Crater coming in on the top. Then you got really beautiful mountain ranges right here. You got the Alpine mountain ranges, and you also got the Alpine Valley right there in the center. You can see it going from the left to right. Really beautiful region. The Sea of Cold, which is right above the dark mass, kind of thin, going from the bottom right to the top left side. Attack this image of the, yeah, we can do that. Let's do a little better focus though, right? See what we can do. Let me try to get it here and we'll try to focus it in a little better and then we'll stack it. See what we can do with our focus. Stabilizer, okay, let's stack it. Let's see what we get. Let me take off the tracking aspect. So stacking again, what it's doing is putting all the frames from the video together, which gives us this more of a high-def looking view of what we're seeing. Some nights it works great, depends on the atmosphere. Some nights it does what it's going to do. You just get whatever view. Impact craters are on point. I mean, they're pretty crazy, aren't they? Have you ever seen strange things on the moon like UFOs? No, if you've seen something on the moon, it'd have to be really big. Like, for example, the average impact crater you see on the moon is like 20 miles wide. I like on a really good night, we'd be lucky to see something that's like 3 to 5 miles wide. Be really lucky. What, stacking in? Yeah, it's really cool. Stacking's a really cool process. It allows you to take all the frames, put them on top of each other, and so you get more details like what we just seen. Now we're back to the raw view. UFO, where you at? Yeah, I've never seen anything like that, bro. Never. What about the monolith that appears and disappears on the moon? Fake, not real stuff. So here we're back over towards the Terminator line, so we start to see more details of the impact craters. We're close to the Sea of Tranquility here, where the Apollo 11 mission landed. Really beautiful moon that we have. Let me give us a little bit more light though. See it a little better. There we go. I can picture Starbucks up there one day. Yeah, right next to Dollar General store. Right next to Dollar General store. You know. really cool impact right here. Right in the center, you'll see what looks like a mountain. You actually see this in quite a bit of the impactors, or impact craters, I should say. And these are called central peaks. This is the debris that gets blown up and comes back down. Sometimes gets in the center. Sometimes it could be the impactor itself, whether it's an asteroid or a comet. In this case, it'd be an asteroid. And they can either settle. Sometimes they can dig in a little bit and then kind of come back up a little bit, but it causes that peak in the center. You zoom in over leftover Apollo junk to see. I wish I could. It's super small. Like take the moon for example, 3 foot by 5 foot. The area that we're looking at right now, we're probably this impact crater right here. I'm thinking that one's about 600 miles wide, if I remember right. Sorry, not 600, but 60. Like these are large cities that you would see in these impacts. The average one being about 20 miles wide. And I'm building a lunar bases inside an ancient lava tube. That is a plan, yep. And rotor systems connect the bases. So there are lava tubes on the moon, which the plan is to build facilities in them. Did you ever hear about Artemis 2 mission? I'm excited for it. It would be cool to make a base in a crater just to put a dome over it. I mean, it'd be pretty dangerous still, though. We always got to remember that the moon gets pelted all the time, and it gets really hot and super cold on the moon. In the lava tubes, it can be a little easier to sustain the environment, obviously, and plus safety. Have you ever caught an impact from a meteor? I personally have not. I have not been able to myself. It'd be really awesome, though. I would love to. Look at the amount of impact craters right here. There's so much going on here. You can see the mountain ridges that are right next to the impact crater there on the right side. Like there is so much going on right here. There's a ton going on in that area. Get the brightness just right. Yep, we're going back to the moon again. We'll be the first country to do mine asteroids, it seems like, which supposedly contains dude, I'm not too sure how accurate that is, to be honest. Currently have a 45mm camera lens. It's a 100-400mm, a big step up. Man, when it comes to cameras, it's so much different, dude. You might have to send me a message or something. I'll have to look it up because I don't want to say something and be like wrong on it though. In moon can alive by science. What do you mean? I don't even know what that means. If you point a laser to the moon, can you see it with your telescope? Now it's too fine, fine per se. But there are retro-reflective mirrors on the moon that you can actually point a laser to and receive it back, and that's how you actually measured the distance to the moon. Those are left behind with the missions, with 3 of the manned missions, and then also 2 of the Lunar missions from Russia. There's what are called retro-reflective mirrors on the moon. What's this right now? We're looking at the moon. It's a Polaroid silent film. What's that? What's a Polaroid? I'm so confused now. Let's kind of check out these ranges right here. Quite a bit going on here as well. And again, we're looking at the Terminator area. And let's focus too. We're way out of focus. Let me see if I can focus any better. Get a better view of the moon here. See which way we gotta go. Maybe the other way. Look like the wrong way. If I can see it any better. Maybe. Maybe. Hard to tell. Show little zoom. What do you mean show little zoom? Solo deste el planeta Vegeta. Photos. Un poco más no veo bien. Looking at the moon, there are no mirrors there, sir. I mean, there are. Do you like the show Mythbusters? Or no? Pretty good question. Your telescope, one of those that you control via the remote. Yep. Google moon split window. No, it's a telescope looking at the moon. Wanna go to Saturn? See how it works? See the ends, airplane pool. That's funny. Let's go back to Saturn real quick, actually. Let me move us to Saturn in our view. Planetarium, Saturn, and 3, 2, 1, and we on our way we go. If we find it. Gotta get some brightness though. Be able to find the moon. Or not the moon, Saturn. Oh, I just seen it. Right next to us. Hold over a little bit. Go the right way. It's going to be wobbly when we first get here, though, because we're moving the telescope so fast. And to the center. Ah, let me speed up the telescope. 2. There it is. There's Saturn. Finally. Should be able to still see some moons as well. You'll have the ones on the right. These are going to be Titan. It's going to be that really bright one on the right. You guys see it? Is Planet X real? There's been evidence like, does Planet X exist? There is some evidence to support it, but it's not been discovered though. Do I even want to know what this telescope hurts your wallet? Probably not. Probably not. It's a pretty expensive telescope. The whole setup's pretty expensive, obviously. Alright, sounds good, Southern Cross. Appreciate you, bud. Photoshop? Interesting way of doing Photoshop, man. Photoshop, I didn't know Photoshop could do this, but cool story. Is that Titan? It is, on the right side, Titan. Yep, there's going to be moons around Saturn here. Uranus ain't high enough where I can get it. It just came up over the horizon. Let me pull down some of the brightness again. We see Saturn a little better. What kind of setup do you have and how much was it? The one that we're using right now is the Celestron 11-inch SMIC Cassegrain on the EQ6R Pro that's inside the observatory that's controlled all by the computer system. It gets really expensive when you add it up. I got about 16 different telescopes, and tonight's a C11. What do we need to know about planets otherwise, if someone is curious? Well, we learn a lot about us, obviously. We learn about science itself, and how we discover who we are. We discover what works, what doesn't work. I mean, how do you have a phone, right? Think about that one. That's actually a really interesting concept, is that phone you're holding is literally a rock, and that's why we study planets. Science not believe in God, right? That's not right at all. Not even close to right. Hi, Alexis. I'm in Kansas City. Focus, we will here in a minute. Try finding Mars. Not up. It's already set for us. Can you see Uranus? No, it's not up. You're a scientist from Malaysia. Hey, welcome in. Glad to have you. What's a faint dot next to Saturn? That was on the right side was Titan. Being beautiful Titan. Hey, Rob, how you doing? Saturn it is. It is beautiful Saturn. See if we can pull it over a little better. Somebody told me this Photoshop though. I gotta figure out how to make Photoshop actually do this so we can do it in the day. That'd be really awesome. Anybody know how to make Photoshop do something like this? That's so funny. AI hoax. You can literally see the telescope on the bottom. Make it look possible for a Dyson. Make it look possible for a Dyson sphere. That'd be really cool, wouldn't it? And we see Uranus. It's not up. It's just coming up over the horizon. It ain't like anywhere I can get to it. When was Titan first noticed? It was... Wow, I'd have to actually pull up the data. Even though like it was captured and really understood in the 1600s, it was probably noticed before that point though. Earth is a triangle. That's pretty wild. Who's a roller prince over Saturn? You're talking about Roman gods, I assume, at that point. By finding Saturn, we are looking at Saturn. I mean Jupiter. It's not up yet. It don't come up until early morning. We'll get thermometer. Does Titan have its own atmosphere? It does. It has a really thick atmosphere. Enchiladas, one of Saturn's moon. And Claudius? I think he mean in Claudius. And Claudius would be. Not enchiladas, though. And Claudius. Can you get any closer? If I got a long enough rope and can lasso it, we can bring it. But usually it takes like a new camera or eyepiece or something like that to get your zoom. Your zoom comes from the device that you're looking through into the telescope. What do you think about exoplanets? That might be water roads. It'd be pretty sweet. It will be awesome. You know, Saturn has a halo. Again, it also has its own magnetic field that creates its own Borrellies, which is pretty wild too, right? It gets Borrellies from the sun, and it also can create its own. That's pretty wild. Must spin fast. It's pretty quick. 10 and a half hours roughly for a day on Saturn. At its widest point, I should say. Seriously, a silly question, not a dumb question, never truly a dumb question. But if we lost our moon, would it be possible that another moon could come in like a replacement? I mean, it's possible. We do capture things which we call quasi-moons, which are temporary moons that we capture. The odds that we capture something like our moon would be very, very rare. Especially if you're talking about something that's just perfect like our moon. It'd be super hard to do. Does Jupiter appear every dawn? The moon, like we see every dawn. So Jupiter comes up a little faster every day. It's like any planet. They come up a little faster every night. So for Saturn, for example, it comes up about, I can't remember, 13 minutes or so faster every single night. Same for Jupiter. Heard that the moon came from an asteroid impact. It came from an object probably about the size of Mars, and we call that Theia. Wish my eyes could see that good. Oh, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Imagine going outside, looking up and seeing Saturn like this every day. Yeah, that'd be crazy. That'd be super crazy. Alright, let me bring down a little bit of brightness again. We can see Saturn a little bit. Does that look okay? Saturn was under their tides would be well. Yeah. There's a little bit of water found in Saturn. It's really small though, like 0.002%. Always want to telescope at that could do this. Hey, I appreciate having you, Shanna. Glad to have you here. Obviously, I think this is an amazing way. Hey, Claire, how are you doing? This is an amazing way for people to be able to just jump on and enjoy something like this, right? And not have to have any expenses. Where are you viewing this from? Kansas City. Saturn looks like a star without telescope. Yeah, that's true. It does. Like a really bright star, honestly. Can you identify this spaceship everyone's talking about heading towards Earth? There's no spaceship heading towards Earth. Hey, what's up, Ray Ray? I got you. Glad to see you tonight. How's your night going? Yeah, it's Saturn here. Good to see you. It is absolutely great to see you. Oumuamua is way out of here by now. That was the first identified interstellar object. Obviously, now I think they're talking about 3i. 3i is the third identified. Talking slow. I'm sorry. There's comments are so fast that I like to respond to them. Yeah, Saturn's looking really good. You want to check out Titan too? Titan looks really good tonight as well. Titan's going to be on the right side here. To see it kind of get bright there. You turn up your phone screens, you should be able to see it a little better. Bright star I see every night is actually Saturn. It depends on where you're looking at. It really just depends on where you're looking. Yeah, 3i is a comet. Most likely a comet. It has all the signatures of a comet. As you can see the rings around it. Yeah, you can do that with binoculars as well. Like if you got a really good pair of binoculars and especially like come up to the end of September when we're in opposition, if you can stabilize your binoculars like on a fence or something, then you can make out the rings. 3 moons out there. You can see 3 right now, yeah. It has 274 moons though. Ain't that wild? 274 moons. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate that. Which tell my kids about Saturn's orientation, and it was west of the moon a few days ago. Yep. You're looking east, it's usually Jupiter. Yeah, so right now, Saturn is to my east-southeast. Or actually, no, it'd be southeast right now. It's getting pretty high right now. It's southeast currently for me in Kansas City. Galactic art, yeah. Majestic. When do you do your live so I can be sure to watch? So I try to be live, as long as it's clear, I try to go live every night, to be honest. That monkey, it's a computer controlled. Yeah, this is all computer controlled. The telescope itself has 2 different gears in it, RA and then your DE, your right motion, right left motion, and the up and down motion. And so what it does, it tracks the object that you want it to. It'll track it across the sky. Hey, Saturn's and moons in Claudius. Is that so? Yeah. I think Rhea would be the other one in our view currently. Those moons look bigger than Earth. No. Have you been able to track the ISS or any satellites in Earth's orbit? I mean, obviously with the hand controller, but we did, Chance's in here, he actually helped me. We did get some stuff set up to track the ISS. Just we're waiting for the ISS to go over at night, so that'd be pretty crazy. Why has 274 moons? Saturn does. Saturn has 274. I can actually see 4 moons right now, personally. I don't know if they're all coming through. Let me give it a little bit more light. We get kind of staticky, but you can see 4 moons right now, it looks like. There may be a 5th one, but it's hard to tell. I can't really make it out. But pretty wild. Bring down the brightness again. Look at Saturn for a minute. You can see how bright it is. So technically it needs to be like this. And then you can make out the striation of Saturn. You can make out the ring of Saturn. But I don't know if you guys can see it or not. It may be too faint. Managed a safe landing in Singapore. That's amazing. Where are the 4 moons currently visible? I'll have to pull them up to get the exact moons that we're looking at. Of course, we knew Titan. Titan and Clotis was most likely there. Rhea was almost there. Let me get my planetarium back up here and see if I can pull it up real quick. We just gotta remember how to get it to come up in the planetarium. Solar system information. Saturn. Okay, it looked like, maybe not in Clotis. And Clotis was right next to the rings. So we wouldn't have seen it. We've seen Mimas, Tethys, Rhea, and Titan. So the 3 on the right, it would have been Mimas, the first one, then Rhea, and then, or sorry, it would have been Rhea, Dione, and then Titan, and then on the left would have been Tethys. Can you guys see Saturn still okay, or no? Thanks, Sheena. Appreciate that. What's up, Face? How you doing? Thanks, Ray Ray. Appreciate you as well. Okay, good. Yeah, Titan's very large. It's a little bit larger than the planet Mercury. Is it blurry to you? I can see, it looks like I see the striation, so it shouldn't be too blurry. Pretty wild. So let me show you the planetarium. It's gonna be so hard to get it on there. There's just, like, as far as, like, seeing the rings right now, we're still edge on, so you can hardly make out the rings. But in a few more years, the rings are going to be a little bit flatter for us and look really good. Right now, we're just at an edge on moment. You see the 4 moons better from here? Yeah, absolutely. Like, everything's a little bit brighter on my side. Quite a bit brighter, actually. I see everything a little bit brighter compared to what actually gets thrown into Streamlabs and then gets pushed out to YouTube. Yo, 11 more likes to reach 100. Yo, thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. Make sure you hit the sub as well if you like to come in and hang out with us as we go live and do stuff like this. Well, John TikTok, glad you're still doing this. I appreciate it, Michael. Glad to see you over here on this side. So the moons were once a planet that was blown up millions of years ago. No. The moons are just objects that most likely would have formed in different parts of the solar system during the formation. Mostly are going to be like captured asteroids, for example. There are moons that form from impacts, like, for example, our moon, but captured asteroids and comets are the most common things we see. For example, like, we look at Mars, the 2 moons that Mars has are both captured asteroids. That's really cool. Good idea. Definitely subscribing. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Jupiter behind us, the view around 3:30 a.m. Probably not for me, though, man. I'll still be behind the trees. You know my setup. It's always horrible for me. Can you find a new moons of at Saturn? We can only see about 5 moons from just like a live view. We can only see about 5 of them from here on Earth. You have one that can see Pluto. Yeah, this won't do Pluto. It's just behind trees already, though. Just subscribe. Hey, Skipper. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate that. A telephone pole. Hi, Grisha. How are you? About sunrise, I know, dude, it's horrible. I do got it where I can pull the all-sky camera in here, though. This is right above the observatory. This is what we can see above the observatory. You can see Saturn and Neptune are right next to each other. They're on the bottom side, and then you can see where the telescope's pointing as well. But you can see this all the time on skieslive.com. Allows you to see the all-sky camera here at the observatory. Is there life up there? No, no way. Not on Saturn. Life as we know it would not be able to survive on Saturn. You got to remember that Saturn is just a massive gas ball. It's mostly hydrogen and helium, and it has like methane, prosopane, and so on. But even if you try to walk on Saturn, you're just going to go through. It's almost like walking on clouds. You're just going to go in towards its core, and it's going to be so much pressure you wouldn't make it probably about 10 seconds. Imagine having the antenna on your car. Yeah, that'd be crazy, huh? Is this the morning star? Nope. This is not Venus, this is Saturn. Can we see Venus? Not up yet. It don't come up until Jupiter has to come up first, and then we start to see Venus after Jupiter. But if you look out to the east in the morning hours, let me give us a little bit of brightness though. You look out east in the morning hours, and you'll start to see Venus. You'll see Jupiter and Venus out there. Yeah, absolutely, Grisha, absolutely, 100%. I appreciate it too. What is your favorite thing to look at in space? Ooh, that's a tough one. I don't know. Like that's honestly a tough one. Pretty much anything. I enjoy looking out. I enjoy looking up and looking out. Hi, Prim, I guess. Right next to each other. Yeah, they were. Me and the boys at work were geeked out. That's awesome, Travis. Yeah, and Saturn and Neptune were really close to each other not too long ago as well. We were able to take a picture of them together, which is really cool. Really cool. We put humans on Mars in our lives. I don't know. I mean, it's the goal, but I don't have the answer to that. We see the comet coming, 3i. Yeah, it'd be really awesome to capture 3i. One moon from Earth. Other planets is very easy. There you go. Is there any by chance of seeing the auroras? The aurora lights. So I haven't been looking at the forecast. I know it bounced up there for a little while, but I haven't looked at the forecast tonight, to be honest. Honestly, have not looked at the forecast lately. Maybe in about 3 days we have an enhanced chance at it, but down here, right now there's a 1% chance that I could see them. So that's pretty wild. Here in Kansas City, it's roughly a 1% chance that we can see the auroras currently. But I can tell you no, not with the moon. You know, Planet X. Planet X has not been discovered. Planet X has not been discovered. It'd actually be Planet 9, though. You gotta have 9 planets and get Planet X. So Planet X obviously came before Pluto was demoted, which would have made the 10th planet, obviously, but now we'd have to have Planet 9. Pluto's behind trees for me already. It could be. I mean, it could have been something that got ejected, which is way out there, obviously, and still hasn't been completely ejected, obviously, from the solar system. But it's a tough question. Really hard. It was demoted. Yes, it's a dwarf planet now. No longer a planet. If we can pull Saturn up a little higher here. Which planet humans, beings can live? Earth. Simple answer, Earth. Where's Uranus? Not up for me yet. How are you sure that you're not showing us blurry image of LED lights in your shed? Sure. So you can see the telescope, obviously. Hold on a minute. Let me do this for you. Okay. I'm not sure if you can hear me now, but I'm right next to the telescope. But there it is. There you go. That microphone out there is super sensitive. How long will Saturn be this close? It gets a little bit closer to us. I can't remember which day. It's at the end of September, though. We'll be at opposition, which will be its closest approach, and right above us at midnight, basically. Please stop checking the LED. That's funny. Can you see Uranus? Yeah, but it's not up yet. Why so many science doubters tonight? It just happens. I think some people just can't believe that they use this thing called a smartphone that was built by a rock. Honestly, how do we see the same side of the moon every night? We spin at the same time. So it rotates. It's not about us spinning, though. The moon itself rotates, but it's a synchronization rotation. It takes 27.3 days to make one full rotation, but it's tightly locked to us, but it's called synchronization rotation. Freaking let me... What? How do we see the same? Okay, I got it on that one. Well, the gas giant, giant is gone. What will happen? It could be a little wild. There'll be obviously some issues with gravitational or tidal effects, I should say. Honestly, like Jupiter, for example, Jupiter is an enemy to us. It likes to slingshot stuff at us, but you got to remember that our focus when we talk about the barycenter is mostly focused, obviously, from the sun, though. So it really just depends on how close the things get you moving around and whatnot. I appreciate that. Thanks, bud. You want to get a telescope so badly? That'd be awesome. I hope you get one. Spin the moon in the orbit of the moon around Earth matches up. The moon itself orbits around Earth, and it rotates, and that rotation again takes 27.3 days. Hey, thanks, Travis. I appreciate it, man. Have an amazing night, bro. I appreciate you. September 21st. There you go. But September 21st will be opposition. Probably smells like a fire. The Saturn itself. Maybe. Maybe there's a little bit of methane up there. I'm sure there's other nasty stuff I wouldn't want to smell. But it sure would be beautiful, though. To be honest, I would love to see Saturn up close. I'd be all about it. Too dark to see, volume's too loud. Well, you got a volume button on the side. You can turn down the brightness button or the brightness control on your phone. There's several tidally locked moons in the solar system. It's not super common to have tidally locked moons, but there's several. Oh, that'd be cool. You're gonna get a yeah. You're right. That's gonna be the next total lunar eclipse here in the United States. So we'll get a blood moon. Yep. You guys want to see the moon again around Saturn? Bring in a little bit more light. Get a little bit more light when we get one of the moons to pop in here. Pull up Titan a little higher too, so we can see it. Oh, go the right way. There you go. If the gas is wide, doesn't catch on flames. Well, there's not much oxygen around it. Oxygen is not a very common thing that you find in the solar system, though. What's your favorite planet to look at? Probably Jupiter. I'd go with Jupiter. My vision has reduced so much I can't. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, Laura, I got you. That's one thing that's really nice about these kind of setups is when you're getting a little bit older, obviously, and you get a loss of vision, these setups really help you out a lot. Yeah, it's the same thing that we see all around though. You need oxygen obviously to create fire, and we just don't have that much oxygen around Saturn at all. Water doesn't have much oxygen. What? Saturn is not technically water. It's mostly hydrogen and helium. There's like 0.00, is it 002% or 0.0002% water? There's very little water in Saturn. Let's see if we can do this, Chance. Got an idea. Make sure we're synced up properly. We're really good. Sync. Alright, let's try this. 3, 2, 1, and a little wee. If we can hit this or not. Oh, yeah, perfect. Right there. Anybody can take a wild guess what we're looking at right now. It's blue, next to Saturn. It is a planet. We pull it up a little better for us. There we go. See if we can get a little bit more light too. Get a little better there. This looks scary. Beautiful at the same time. It's super beautiful. Yeah, Neptune. This is going to be beautiful Neptune we're looking at right now. A beautiful blue coloring that we see from Neptune. Then you can see how it's kind of like jumping around a little bit. It's going to be a little bit of that turbulence we have in the sky. It's Pikachu. That's funny. Yeah, Neptune it is. Mercury? Nah, you got to be really good to get Mercury. You usually only have like a 30-minute window to see Mercury. Too close to the sun. And the moon's orbit, weird. It's super big that. I got you. The moon's orbit, not really. It's not really a weird orbit at all. Your blue LED this time? I got you. So it's my blue LED. Gotcha. Cool. Anyways. Apparently it's my blue LED. Alright, let's do this again. Back to Saturn. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and whee! It's alive! Man, the crowd tonight. You guys are awesome. There we go, back to Saturn. Nice. Let's get rid of some of the brightness, see Saturn a little better. Pretty awesome, ain't it? We'll go Saturn speed of light. Dude, this setup's really nice. This is really a nice setup that I use. Is moon in vision? Yeah, we can swing over to it. Let's do the moon again. I'll have to remember to turn down the brightness or it'll be like a flashbang coming through as we're going. Alright, here we go. And 3, 2, 1, whee! On our way. We try to turn down the brightness so it don't get us. And there's the moon. We can find a really cool spot to look at here. Speed up the telescope control. Move around a little faster too. Go look at some of these impact craters on the edge. Stunning view right here of the moon. Check that out. Look at just how many impact craters we're looking at. It's crazy, isn't it? Space language. There you go. Love it. Tardigrades. I don't think you're going to find tardigrades on the moon. Crater of moon is like Mercury, yeah. They look a lot alike. The moon and Mercury do. Where's Sea of Tranquility? Near the top. We're in the wrong area. Gotta go up a little bit more. Over. Go the right way. See if I can spot it real quick. Goodness, go the right way. Polar bears. That'd be pretty sweet to see on the moon. What about did the Apollo mission land on the moon? The Sea of Tranquility is the one that most people speak of. It's going to be the Apollo 11 mission landing site. Then you get like the Sea of Serenity. Then you start to find the Apollo, let me make sure I say this right, 17, and then you get the Sea of Showers, then you get to, so this is Sea of Serenity right here, where we're at. And the Sea of Showers right here, and there's going to be Mount Huygens, roughly in the center right here. Mount Huygens itself is about 18,000 feet high. It's like super tall. It's the tallest mountain peak we find on the moon. And we're out by the Apollo 17 landing site. They crash landed tardigrades on the moon. Oh, I got you. That makes sense. That's really weird though, ain't it? How much did that scope cost? This C11 if you want to look it up. Celestron's 11-inch Smith cast screen. Looks like they had a war on it. Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? Europa Clipper was launched 2024. Like going well. As far as I know, it's going well. It's going to take quite a bit, obviously, to get to its destination. But yeah. The moon looks like a construction slab. It kind of does. If only you could see the eagle landing, that'd be super awesome. It'd be really cool to get to see stuff there, right? Hey, Ray, you still here? We got the Bay of Rainbows right here. If anybody wants to see the Bay of Rainbows, it looks like a shark took a bite out. There she is. She just said it. This looks like the shark took a bite out of the moon in a way, and it's called the Bay of Rainbows. That little area there on the center. But that's one of the bays on the moon. Then right under it's going to be the Sea of Showers, and then above all that, you can see a little bit more dark mass. It's going to be the Sea of Coal. But these areas are going to be what are called mares or seas and so on. But these are going to be ancient lava beds, solidified lava. Thought it was so cool to hear about too. Oh, that's awesome. Really cool. Leprechauns live there? That's funny. Look at the Terminator line over here. Ah, no, you're the best. Dark spots or shadows? Nope. The dark spots are going to be solidified lava beds. Like right here. See how smooth it is, too? Solidified lava beds. Volcanic lava. That's the Sea of Serenity. This is the Sea of Tranquility right here. And then a little bit further over, you'd have the Sea of Fecundity. The Apollo 11 landing site. If I can get closer in our view. Where do I need to go? Right there. So right... You see where the brightness kind of comes in the center to the right? Right on the top side is that little white dot there, the impact crater, but just above it's going to be the 11 landing site. How long have you been doing this for? Since I was 8 years old, I've been using telescopes. That there also, I should say, that dark mass right here, this is going to be the Bay of Roughness. that we're looking at currently. And you go a little bit further out here, then you're at like the Apollo 16 landing site. These are really beautiful impacts here. Hey Maru, how you doing? These impacts like this one here, you can see the you can see right in the center. This is going to be the central peak, and these are just stunning. These are really beautiful areas. Yeah, it's super pretty. The moon, we have a stunning moon. It doesn't matter what your beliefs are and if we landed there or anything else. Like, at the end of the day, getting to see the moon like this, to me, is just mind-blowing. It doesn't matter what your beliefs are, how you feel about things, but getting to see this awesome object above us is crazy awesome. And so many impacts, though, huh? Alright, should we get back to Saturn? Spend a little bit more time Saturn. You know, some areas of the moon attract more asteroids. With like the solidified lava areas are a little bit younger than what we see of the other areas. But most of the impacts that we see mostly came from the Great Bombardment period. Makes you want to have cheese. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Alright, let's do it. Let's get back to Saturn. Let's see if we can do it here. Saturn and right. If I can click it. There it is. Almost. There we go. 3, 2, 1, and we our way. Gotta turn up the brightness too. Just seen it come through. Let me move it over in the center. Get the telescope calm down too. I'm moving way too fast right now. There we go. Beautiful Saturn though. Saturn is just stunning. Never fails. They're gorgeous. I can get the camera out of your guys' way. You can actually see it a little easier. We can bring in some of the other light and get the moons to come in as well. Pretty crazy. Go from our moon and look at Saturn. Let me see if I can get all 4 moons in again that we've seen earlier. Yeah, there we go. And you can see 4 moons around Saturn. So we've seen 5 moons so far tonight. Right now I'm using the C11, 11-inch Schmidt-Cassegrain green. 5 moons in one night so far. Yeah, it's on the right side. Titan's on the right. It's on the bottom right side. The dot over there. If we can focus real quick too. Better focus. The atmosphere is getting a little bit more turbulent currently. Pretty awesome though, ain't it? Pluto behind trees for me already. Which moon is hanging on the left? Let me grab it again. And that one was Tethys. Tethys on the left side. Bring more brightness again. Hopefully you guys can see it. Get the I'll get Titan to come in just enough. Kind of make them out a little bit there. Uranus not up yet. Love Dancing Ringmaker, yeah. That's one giant step. There you go. Planet hopping footnotes. That's one giant step. That's funny. That's super funny. You're welcome, Laura. We see any galaxies? Not tonight. With the moon being as bright as it is, it's really hard to see galaxies. Hard to take photos, not get all that moonlight like blended in. Galaxies are relatively faint, so you need really good photos. Probably in about a week though. In a week, we'll start out doing some galaxy nebula stuff first, and then we'll probably swap over and do like planetary and finish off with like the moon or something. But we basically need the moon not to be up this early. Any UFOs? I haven't. I've seen aliens though here in chat earlier. There were people talking like aliens anyways. Hey dude, how you doing? Pull out the brightness again for us. I try to focus, but then I never focus. I focus, but I forget to focus. Yeah, Galaxy Nebula are really beautiful. Super beautiful to see. I always like looking at planets though. I think planets are just stunning. It never like seems to amuse me to look at planets. Like I have wings for a second. Yeah, the atmosphere is getting a little bit wild. Did you capture the recent eclipse? No, I did not. I'm in the United States. It didn't happen here. That was between basically like parts of Australia, Asia, and over towards like East Africa. Does Starlinks ever disturb your view? No, not when we're doing something like this. Not when we're doing stuff like this. They're relatively faint compared to Saturn itself. There's radiation and light bouncing back the jelly moon. That's going to be the light getting distorted as it comes through the atmosphere. So like different things happen. Whether it's too much moisture up there or just too much wind or you get too much other types of pollutants. Like here right now, we have a lot of pollutants from wildfire smoke. And plus we got a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. But just like if you think about if you have like a really hot barbecue grill or you look on top of like black pavement when it's been really hot out, you see the waves coming up. It's kind of the same thing that we see in the sky. And then we're magnifying through it too. So it just gets really wild looking sometimes. The moon on the right. Look, yeah. Hopefully I got everything up there. You like the Ropal Galaxy? Yeah. Oh man, Mo, I love Ropal. Maybe I'm silly, but why can't we take a picture of the dark side? Or maybe point James Webb at it. So we would never point James Webb back at us, right? Because then it'd be looking towards the sun. But if you mean the far side of the moon, I assume is what you mean. We take photographs, like high definition photographs of the far side of the moon and the front side of the moon. But the first one ever to do was back in 1953 with Luna 3. It had been back in the 1950s. And then now we do it with what's called Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. Yeah, it'd be just Luna. If you look up the LRO or the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, then you would see the far side of the moon. Not dark side of the moon. It's not called dark side of the moon. Far side of the moon. Gas giants are a little bit of both. Like it's going to be hot near the core, but near the atmosphere, it's really cold on Saturn. Saturn's atmosphere is around like negative 220, negative 230 degrees. But you get towards the core, it's probably going to be like that 20,000 degrees. So obviously, the closer you get to the core, hotter it is. Titan is a moon kind of for life. Yep. Yeah, it's Saturn right now. Hanging out Saturn. We've been kind of jumping between Saturn, Neptune, and our moon. Haven't been what we've been doing tonight. I appreciate it, Oscar. Thank you so much, bud. I appreciate that. You see Tarsus. Gotta look up where Tarsus is. What is Tarsus? I don't even know what Tarsus is. Oh, the bull. Taurus. Oh, okay, Taurus. I got you. Now, not with a telescope. You only, like, right now, see how small Saturn is, obviously, in the sky, and then we're looking at it. So, like, you'd only see, like, a star in Taurus. Yeah, I got what you meant now. I was like, what is Tarsus? I gotta look up what Tarsus is. Yeah, Saturn's massive. You can put a lot of Saturns or Earths inside Saturn. I can't even remember how many. 130, I think, if I remember right. Lost my view there for a second, but it's roughly about 130 of our planets inside Saturn. It's crazy. Hey, Blah, what's up? Three eye comet 3i. No, it's already below the horizon. How big of a telescope do we need to see beyond our solar system? I mean, this will look pretty far out there. You really don't need a big telescope. What you need is to be able to capture the light. So like a camera, for example, something that's really sensitive to capture light. But even then, you can look at stars, obviously, and that's outside of our solar system. Yeah, RJ, how's it going? Yeah, Jupiter's great red spot is massive too. Yeah, it's 11 to 13 if I remember right. It's getting smaller though. It's shrinking. That's right. How's it going? How long have you been looking to astronomy? 2 days. I've been doing this for 2 days. Only possible with the USA. Weather in the UK, you wouldn't see anything. Oh, it's been so bad here too, Lee. It's been really cloudy over here in the United States lately. You think that 3i, it's just 3i, is a comet or a spaceship? It's a comet. Hubble was able to take pretty good photos of it already, and we see all the signatures of a comet. That's the storm on the why is it hexagon shape? So near the North Pole, in the hexagon shape. We don't know exactly why it's hexagon shape. The winds. Are you speaking of the winds when you say how fast? But the hexagon shape is going to be near the North Pole of Saturn, and it's literally in the shape of a hexagon. We don't know exactly why though. It's really fast. I think it's like 1200 plus in that area. Were you able to see the lunar eclipse a few days ago? Nah, I'm in the United States. We weren't able to see it. Oh, 764 fit inside Saturn. See? Dude, my math's all bad. How does the moon look like with that telescope? It's alright. We'll swing back over to it here in a bit. Been in the UK there. Oh, because of the clouds, of course. Of course. Always the clouds. Yeah, we'll get back to the moon here in a bit. Where's this? Kansas City, Missouri. Apparently it's supposed to rain diamonds. It's possible. It don't mean that it does, but it is possible that it could rain diamonds on all of our gas planets actually. All gas planets have the ability to be able to have diamond formation. Did we just solve turbulence? No, it's always crazy turbulent. On the Missouri side, yep. How much money was this telescope? Pretty expensive. Oh, are you really? That's awesome. Super awesome. What's up, neighbor? You hopefully you're a Chiefs fan, right? I want to take you are. We can use more Chiefs fans around here. We get other people like Ray Ray's in here somewhere. I think she likes some other weird team. I didn't even know other teams existed. I just thought Chiefs were just that good. They just always won anyway, so I didn't even think they played anyone. Everybody just like gave up in the league. I shouldn't say that because we just lost. Man, that's horrible. That's a horrible joke when we just left or lost. Go big red. All right. Let's see here. Man, look how bright the moon is coming up in our view. Were those little things around Saturn earlier? Some of the moons. Yeah, there are moons. We'll bring them in again for you. Interstellar winds are rough, yeah. I mean, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, there you go. Hopefully you can see them. There's 4 of them here today that we can see. How can we see the Milky Way in dark sky, but when we zoom in, it disappears. Because usually when you zoom in, you lose light, right? So like the more you zoom in on optics, the less light it actually captures. That kind of makes sense to you. It does it on almost anything. Like so, like you just take your camera and look at anything, measure the brightness like on your histogram, and as you zoom in, your f ratio drops on you. Make sure to wear our protective ozone. Love it. Hey, what's up, Ray for Snow? How you doing, bud? What's the International Space Station look like with that? It's like a dot that goes through super fast because we're really zoomed in. Is there fossil fuel on Titan? That's a good question. Don't know. You able to see them now, Maru? Yeah, it's really crazy. It's super crazy expensive. Okay, cool. Yeah, Titan's the one on the bottom right side. Titan's going to be the second largest moon in our solar system. Moons! That's right, we got a lot of moons tonight. We're really good. We go over to Neptune and capture Triton as well, so we'd have the 4 here plus Triton, that'd make 5, and then our moon making 6. And then if Jupiter came up and we got to see the 4 there, then we'd be up to 11 moons. Or sorry, 10 moons. I can't even do math tonight. My math is horrible tonight. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Yeah, Saturn. It is Saturn. What's the biggest moon in the solar system? Ganymede. Ganymede's the largest moon in the solar system over by Jupiter. And it's massive. Tex-Mex from the Austin. ATX checking in. Keep it weird, bro. How you doing, Don? Spend a little bit of time down in ATX. Not as much as I used to, though. Math, what's it good for? That's a good question sometimes. I mean, obviously we use math in everything we do. Just tonight, my math is not mathing, my brain's not braining. So we're just going to go with it. It is a very lovely sight. My throat just got itchy. Give me a second. Let me grab a drink. There we go. Use a telescope in the void, like in the space and orbit. Without atmosphere, how would it look? Oh, so much better. It'd be, you couldn't even imagine the difference. Obviously, look at James Webb Space Telescope, Hubble, and so on. So much different. How's the weather in America right now? It's good. It's not too bad. 64 degrees and clear. But a lot of wildfire smoke. Is it real? It is. Yeah, welcome in. Your math's not math, and mine ain't either tonight. Use a telescope. I got that one. Making it weird. Thanks for playing. I appreciate it, dude. That's super awesome. If you want to see, I can go out and tap the telescope. Show you kind of what we're looking at. If I tap the telescope, then obviously you see Saturn shaking. That's how. Pretty much the way I can show that I'm giving you a live view, obviously. This guy here, I love space. I'm wondering if there is a recording or a live view. This is live. This is live right now. There's other things that you can actually do to verify. Like if you guys ever see astronomy type lives like this, you see Saturn, you see where the moons are located. You can actually look up on like skyandtelescope.org and see what moon alignment you should be seeing at that point. It really helps. That distortion from the smoke. It's a little bit of the smoke and plus the heat that was released today. It got really warm today. Can you see Neptune? My map says it's close to Saturn. Yeah. We can try to swing over real quick. Neptune right there. 3, 2, 1, and we. Yeah, it's really close. Let's see how far off we got though. Not seeing it just yet, so I gotta just move us around a little bit until we find it. See which way it is. A little bit. Actually, let me go line up Saturn first because it's a lot easier to see, and then we can get Neptune a lot easier. Wait just a second here. Let's go back to Saturn first, and then we'll go to Neptune. I gotta sync it with the telescope. Neptune's a little bit harder to find. And of course, Saturn's going to be kind of hard. Let's see if I can just skip around. Oh, wait, right there. What's that? The moon? Or no? Yeah, okay. Let me pull it up. Let me sync it real quick. I'm going to pull Saturn up first, and then we can sync in and get the Neptune a lot easier. Let me speed up the telescope. It was pretty low, too, in my view, so hopefully this works. We move it over the center, and then move our ROI over, centered up properly, about there. If I get it here, here, and there. Okay, now we'll get it. I'll sync in, then we should be able to hit Neptune pretty quick. Saturn, sync. 3, 2, 1, and we again. Go for it. There it is. I see it. Oh, just gotta get in the center. Little blue ball here. Earth. You want to see Earth? Change the lens. No, I just had to try to get it all synchronized on the mount. That's a really nice setup. This is a truly nice setup. What's the action of the moon looking like? We'll go to it next. We can do that. Do astronauts use a telescope or use telescope in the ISS? No, it'd be moving way too fast to be able to use a telescope. Polaris does shift very frequently. About 14,000 years ago, we had Vega at North Star. It does, and eventually Vega will be North Star again. It kind of comes off greenish, yeah. It's like a pale blue. If we let's drop the exposure though. Let's see if we can see the moon Titan, or sorry, Triton. I'm gonna take a 1-second photo real quick. It's gonna be kind of hard. It's probably a little too bright. It looks like it's on the left side. Kind of looks like it's on the left side. I can see it on mine. I don't know if you guys can too. I'm gonna get a little bit brighter. Oh, it's on the right side. You guys see it on your screen? You can see Triton right there on the right side. Really, really faint, really dim. I'm gonna get a 4-second photo. Greenish yellow coming through. I got you. Alright, now can you see it? Hopefully. It's really faint right next to Neptune though, but that'd be Triton. A little better photo there. Yeah, like a pale blue. Yep, kind of on the top. It should be on the right, I think, on the phone. Looks like it should be on the right. Let me look at it on YouTube here real quick. Yeah, it's on the right side. The way up top left, that's going to be a star. But it's just going to be barely to the right. Alright, let me speed the camera back up again. Out there. But there's Neptune. Alright, let's do the moon. And over here. 3, 2, 1, and whee! That's sky we go again. Oh, I better turn the brightness down because it's going to be really bright. Told you. Super bright. Wow, way too bright. Go look over at the really cool stuff. Neptune doesn't exist, except we just seen it. I want to get a telescope, but I'm not too sure what to get for starters. Probably like a tabletop Dobsonian, to be honest. Tabletop Dobsonians are a really nice telescope to start out with. Guys, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for it to be so bright. I tried to get it dimmed down before we get there, because I know it's going to happen. I know it will. You seen it, gents? So far now we've seen 4 plus the 1, that's 5, and then our moon. So 6 moons tonight so far. You see the dark side of the moon? Not a joke. I mean, it's right next to where we're looking at right now. Dark side of the moon's the phase, right? It's the dark phase. I don't know if you're talking about that or like the far side of the moon. Far side of the moon also receives sunlight. It's in orbit, it's in retrograde, or opposite the planet's rotation. Yeah, that's super wild, ain't it? Yep, super, super wild. One of the craziest moons, in my opinion, is just like, well, I mean, of course, Neptune has its own issues, obviously. Our moon is a mirror map. Well, that's funny, because you see anything that looks like a mirror to you? Looks like 3D object to me, buddy. You like the moon Callisto? I'm more on like Io. Io's a really beautiful moon. The most volcanic mass in our solar system. It's so beautiful. The far side of the moon is much smoother. It's not smooth, but it's much smoother. They really don't have like all this solidified lava that we see here. There's a little bit on the far side, but not as much as what we get to see. This is a much thinner side of the moon. The crust of the moon on our side, the Earth's facing side, or the near side, is much thinner than the far side. But we have a gorgeous moon, though. That's a really beautiful moon. Check that out. You can see the fissures inside the ancient lava there. The ancient lava bed, you can see the fissures coming through. Just so beautiful. Paco, ¿qué pasó? No. The face of it is Moon's only face. Did it explain why we see the edges in a 3D view? How are you going to explain that one, bro? Like, why do we see on the edges? I'll give you an example. Why do we see clearly like that? The reflection of your realm is probably someone eating, like, Tide Pods or something, to be my guess. Yeah, absolutely. Enjoy the view, man. Otherwise, you're going to get booted out. I'll help you out, actually. Not even worth the time, man. There you go. My realm is reality. Your realm is eating red crayons or something, dude. If you sell this guy so far, man, that's kind of crazy. Man, flat earthers are kind of fun, but at the same time, they actually kind of worry me a little bit. Never know what to think. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? He's saying the same side all the time. So how does it have so many craters, and how can we see straight down into a hole? See straight down into a hole. I'm not too sure what you mean by see straight down the hole. Obviously, if we look at like an area like closer that's facing us, then we can see a little bit clearer like into it, right? But if we look over on the edge, then we don't see straight into it. Like, go over here again. You can see here, these are not facing us. What was the other part of the question? Same side all the time. How does it have so many craters? Because of the distance, it's still 238,000 miles away. There's a ton of impacts on the backside. When they said smooth, it wasn't smooth like as in smooth. The whole moon itself is cratered. Basically, when we talk about the moon, it's just a completely cratered object. I think so, mine. I tried to. Do you know the moon's slowly moving away from us? It is, about 1.437 inches per year. Hey, thanks, Diego. Appreciate that. Aki, how you doing? Any bases? Not on the moon. But I believe it just depends on how unique a person's imagination is. Probably true. That's probably true. Does anybody know exactly how old the moon is? It's roughly estimated about 5.4 billion years. Yeah, flat earthers looking at the moon, still not even understanding that these objects look spherical. Yeah. Yep, no bases yet. There's no bases on the moon yet at all. You see the asteroid 2024 YR4 might crash into the moon. There's a little bit of a possibility, but very unlikely though. Like, it's a very small percentage, and that percentage is like super small. Kind of hard to say how much. Like, it's super small though. Hey, Minds, appreciate that. Thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate that. I missed anything else up there? Hopefully I didn't. I believe there's certain things on the far side that we don't know about. No, we take photographs so you can actually look at it online. Whether you use like a moon globe, but you can look up Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. Russia took photos of the far side. In fact, Russia was the first one to take photos of the far side of Luna 3 back in the 1950s. Like some sort of moon wizard? Nah. I just started doing this like 2 nights ago. What's your live timing, bro? It's whenever I can. It depends on what's above us, what kind of targets we have to be able to get to, but I try to go live every night. Unless my friends, they force me to play games or something with them. You have a planner or just stream depending on the weather? A lot of it's to do with the weather, Murrow. A lot of it's to do with if we have clouds or not. But I've been trying to keep up with the community here in YouTube and try to make it a little bit easier for people to know if there's clouds or not, if I won't be able to stream. It sounds silly, but just last week I learned that the moon does rotate. It does rotate. It actually does rotate, and we don't see the far side. It's not the dark side, but the far side of the moon. We don't see it from Earth, but it does rotate, though. It's synchronization rotation. So it rotates roughly every 27.3 days, which is how long it takes to orbit around Earth. You ever see comets of your telescope? We do. There's a tundra from quakes. There are moonquakes. That's actually really interesting, but it's not. Most of the things like we've seen the fissures, like in the lava beds, it's just kind of how the lava beds actually solidified. A little bit of the area solidified before the other, obviously, given a fissure. Yeah, it's tidally locked Earth, so it's synchronization rotation. You tried it? I got that one already. Where am I based out of? Kansas City, Missouri. Can you look at one of the poles to see if it's actually rusting like everyone says? So we don't see the rust visually here from Earth. There is a little bit of rust on the moon near the South Pole, though. So it does rotate. Yep, it does rotate. It makes one rotation, which is why we always see the same side of the moon, because it rotates exactly the same speed as it orbits. What do you think the moon rang for 22 minutes? Because it doesn't have water in its surface to baffle the noise. We hear we don't hear it technically. We actually see it in seismographs. We can see that the moon actually, what looks like it would ring like a bell during like stuff like moonquakes or whenever things hit it, like asteroids, for example. What's my favorite moon? Behind ours, Io. Definitely be Io. It's trusting. How's that possible? Well, it's a little bit different. There's a different concept. So whenever we talk about the moon itself near the South Pole, we find ice water in some of the deep impact craters that never get sunlight. And they're super cold areas, like negative 410 degrees Fahrenheit. These areas, though, what we also realize is China was able to observe inside some of the silica. Silica is underneath the crust of the moon, but the silica glass that comes out during impacts, we find moisture in there too. So we know there's moisture on the moon. There's water on the moon. And then we also know that the solar winds will push some of our atmosphere out and towards the moon at times. And we think that's kind of how the rust occurs. Have you ever seen a comet strike? No, I have not. Why would you do that? It indicates a hollow substance somewhere below. What exactly do you mean? It's not geologically active. So the idea of the moonquakes, though, is from its cooling. It's not that there's plates like what we have here, but the moonquakes come from its cooling and our tidal forces on the moon itself. And when we talk about the moon, the side of the moon, again, is a really thin crust compared to what's on the far side of the moon, but we're always pulling on the moon. There's actually a bulge that points towards us. How does water get inside the moon? It most likely was there during its creation. Developed some trauma around the moon as a child after watching the Time Machine. Oh, that's too funny. That's super funny. I was thinking the moon followed them when they were a kid. That's super funny. Yeah, I remember that. Like, be sitting in the back of the car and, like, you always see the moon. Never goes away. Do a test to see what would happen if the moon, and it rang for a little bit. Yep. If you hit the moon and it sounds like it rings like a bell. Now, there was a point where they thought it sounded like ring like a bell as well during one of the Apollo landings as well. But we see it ring as a bell, or like a bell. We were able to see Halley's Comet a while back. That's been a long time ago. Is this the moon? It is. Right now we're looking at the moon. It's like a biscuit getting pulled and pushed by Earth's influence of gravity. Mostly getting pulled, obviously. The far side gets kind of pulled as well. But there's a little bit of tidal forces from the sun as well on our moon. Have you ever felt like we're traveling through space with our galaxy? That's what we're doing. I know a moon wizard when I see one. Dude, I don't know anything about the moon. I've only been doing this for 2 days. Hey, you're welcome, man. Absolutely. What's your accent, if I may ask? United States? Midwestern? I don't know. Which country are you streaming from? United States, near Kansas City. So the moon rotates around us, but does it spin itself? It rotates on its axis. It orbits around us and then rotates on its axis. The moon is bleached by the sun. Yep. Now, there's an exosphere. We got to be kind of cautious when we talk about the atmosphere. There's not an atmosphere, but there's an exosphere on the moon. There's actually a lot of cool things about the moon. The moon itself don't have like a magnetic field like what we have, but there's magnetized materials on the moon because of the solar interaction through the solar wind. Moon's so boring, in your opinion? Oh, it can be. But man, I can't believe you just said that. That hurt my feelings. No place like home. I'm starting to now think that you don't like the Chiefs. Man, come on. I'm joking. Yeah, absolutely, Mines. I appreciate you. Hopefully I'm keeping up everything so far. Let's get back to Saturn, though. You guys ready? Oh, Saturn's on the other side of the sky now. It just moved to the west, so we'd have to flop around. Oh, maybe we'll stick at the moon for a few more minutes. Do we know if Mars is geographically active? Marsquake. So a little bit. There's still some activity. with a really strong telescope, can you see any evidence of lunar lander? So that's kind of a tough question. We don't see it from here on Earth because there's a lot of different things. One, you got the thing called angular resolution. That's how much you can, or how small something is at what distance, right? So when we're talking about something like 3 foot by 5 foot being a flag, then it's like a half a mile wide. But even then, let's say we could, the next problem we have is the atmosphere. Is the atmosphere going to let us look and see something that small? Because right now we're looking at an area that's super wide. This is 600, 700 miles wide, left to right. So imagine something being that small and how hard it would do. Looking at the moon right now, my telescope, that's awesome. There you go, that's super awesome. Is the axis of the moon the same as the Earth? It's not. Do you think that we need to get back to the moon to mine for helium-3, develop fusion technology? No. There's no dark side of the moon, no. Have you seen anything happening on the moon? Have not. What are your thoughts on the object or comet moving near our orbit? So 3I, it's just a comet. All the evidence points to comet. Hope I got everything up there. Telescope it is, yep. This C11 telescope. 11-inch Schmidt Cassegrain telescope. Where are we viewing from? Kansas City. Should give someone control so they can actually move the telescope around so I can pay attention to the comments sometimes. We're just looking at one area of the moon now. My bad. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes I read the comments so much that I completely forget what we're doing. You move the telescope to different. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying, though. Oh, you grew up in North Kansas City? Very nice. Very awesome. This telescope here, I picked up from a guy near North Kansas City. This one that I'm actually using currently. What do you recommend for a beginner telescope? Probably somewhere around $100, $300 at tabletop.Smithsonian. Be what I would suggest. Oh, near Reels of Fun? Okay, I got you. Yeah, I was thinking more like Platte City when you said that. What app do you use to be notified of space events? Honestly, I don't. I really don't use very many apps for space events. I got one for Aurora activity. Other than that, I really don't. Oh, going the wrong way. See if we can move over this way just a bit. These are really nice lava beds out here. You see, Aristicus right there. Name of the impact crater. Oh, you went to Weston? Gotcha. Really small town, ain't it? The moon's not hollow. If it was hollow, it would crash in on itself. You show where they put the flag on the moon? Which flag? There's several flags on the moon. 6 American flags that were left by mankind, but then you got American flags, of course, on other objects. There's several flags on the moon, though. UAV during your telescope session? Never seen anything like that. Do the titles force us? What exactly do you mean by force us, though? They affect us. Obviously, that's why we get high tides, low tides, and stuff like that. Yes, and there's a Sea of Tranquility area in the Bay of Roughness. Bay of Roughness on the bottom, but right in the center, there's that little tiny impact crater. Kind of the brighter one on the. There's two, one on the bottom, one on top. But the one near the top, just above it and to the right of here, that's going to be the Apollo 11 landing site. What's the weirdest thing that you've ever seen? Chat, for sure. People in chat. How long would it take to drive around the moon at 60 miles per hour? You'd have to do the math. Yeah, flags are way too small. But you can look up photos from like Japan, India, Russia, let's see, who else? China. They've all captured the objects on the moon. Can't find your bio though. Oh no. Everyone ever flew vertically around the world from north to south. There has been flights that do that. What's a relative gravity on the moon to Earth? About a 6. Roughly about a 6 of the gravity on the moon compared to what we have here on Earth. 11 inches on a wedge mount. It's on the EQ6R Pro. German equatorial mount. Look at some of these impact craters real quick. It's awesome. I mean, I would have to look it up exactly to be sure of the diameter. It's like 6,000 some miles, so you'd actually have to look it up, though, to be honest. It'd be a lot easier, man. The cool thing, we got Google now. Google helps a lot. Space bars look the flag for everywhere. What? Oh, the space bears. I got you. That's funny. That's super funny. Gotcha. What do you think sounds? What do you think sounds dark side of the moon? I'm not sure what you mean. Far side of the moon, though. It's not dark side of the moon. Dark side of the moon's a song. Far side of the moon also receives sunlight. Put a laser into the telescope on the moon. You'd have to hit the retro reflectors. Oh, 21,060 miles. Man, I should have known that. I was saying 6,000, didn't I? Man, I'm horrible tonight. Why do you think there's not as much of an impact on the moon compared to how it looks? Because most of what we see on the moon is from the Great Bombardment period. There's a large impact, roughly about once every 10,000 years. There you go. It'd take 113 hours to drive around the moon. Someone actually looked it up. That's crazy. I never really answer questions like that because, I don't know, there's Google. We're literally on YouTube, which is owned by Google, so pretty wild. All right, see you. Thanks for hanging out, there. Appreciate you, bud. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it, man. How you doing tonight? The way you chatted, yeah, makes it look really good, don't it? Temperature difference on the moon, it's anywhere between like 240, 250 degrees down to about 220, 230. But the coldest place on the moon is near the South Pole. There's a deep impact crater there. That's about negative 410 degrees. All Fahrenheit, by the way. Around on the dark side of the moon. There's not a dark side of the moon. It's the far side of the moon. The far side of the moon, which is the back side of the moon, the side that we don't see, it also receives sunlight. Very optimistic about the Artemis mission. New Starship and SLS. I mean, Artemis is not Starship, obviously. But I'm very optimistic of Artemis mission. Yeah, absolutely. You have special attachments for your phone connecting. I don't have my phone on it. This is a dedicated camera. If we can find a really cool impact crater out here somewhere. Something interesting to look at here on the moon. I can pause for just a second. Look at comments again. It gets hard to pay attention to comments plus move the telescope. The moon does not have any properties to illuminate. Can you see the house? What house? What? It's going to be a impact crater right here. It's going to be Plato. Impact Plato. Plato crater. Coffee Selenic. What's up? Must have missed something there. Remember when you saw that object flying over on a string? Which one? The airplane? I captured an airplane the other night during the full moon. That was kind of cool. Oh, you're good, James. All good. There's some really cool impact craters right here. What's the furthest planet you can see with your scope? All of ours in our solar system. I can see all the planets. Oh yeah, we had the geese go through. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, that was really cool actually. We'll get a lot more of those views of the geese because obviously they're going to start migrating here soon. Yeah, geese are really cool to see go through the telescope, especially when you're zoomed out. You're not this zoomed in like we are currently. It's fun being up and close and personal with the moon sometimes, though. Definitely kind of interesting views for sure. UFOs landing on those circles, did you know? No, these are impact craters. You see all those impact marks on the moon, but why they don't put a base there? Because meteors randomly hit it, and they don't know what is going to happen or where. Yeah, true. Lava tubes are going to be the best place, obviously. You're showing what telescope are you using? C11. I think the James Webb Space Telescope has debunked Big Bang Theory. No, it's actually helped solidify some of the evidence of the Big Bang. Yeah, this, like, obviously we get to see this side, right? And so we see how crazy it is. The main difference, but like the far side of the moon itself has a lot more impact craters, but the far side don't have as much of this dark mass. This dark mass that we see right here, that's in our view, that's solidified lava. There's a little bit on the far side, but not as much. Asteroid comets, the force left behind, yeah. There's going to be a really cool mountain range right here. That's going to be the Alpine Mountains and the Alpine valley right there. I don't know if you guys can see the valley. It's about in the middle going left to right. Hey Chris, thanks for the sub. Appreciate that. It's like a satellite. Oh, that's awesome. 113 hours drive around the moon at 60 mile per hour. It's like, dude, can't believe someone's actually trying that math. Three eyes already under the horizon for me. I can't see it. Does the moon move a little bit, or it's always stationary, no rotation? It orbits Earth at about 27.3 days. So it orbits us about every 27.3 days. Yet the lunar days about 29.5 days, because obviously we're orbiting the sun. Beyond that, yes, it rotates. It makes one rotation as it orbits, so that 27.3 days, how long it takes for the moon to make one full rotation, and that's called synchronization rotation. It's kind of an interesting concept. Like if you pick up like let's say a can of Campbell's tomato soup, and I don't know why I use Campbell's tomato soup instead of saying something like a bottle of Pepsi or something, but if you're looking at the label of like a bottle of Pepsi or a can of Pepsi, and you do a 360, you're always seeing the same side. But if you have your friend watch you, they'll see that can of Pepsi actually make that rotation as you do the spin, or they'll see it make that full rotation, right? How much is a telescope? Enjoying what you're doing. It can be like my recommendations, like on a beginner telescope, probably $100 to $300 roughly. If the telescope itself is really specific, like this type of magnification, probably don't buy it, obviously, like a box brand. But a tabletop Dobsonian, not too bad of a start. That is called tidal locking. Yep, tidal locking or synchronization rotation. Yep, tidal locking. Does ring like a bell. That's what we observe. It doesn't have any water inside the crust like what we have here on Earth. So when we have moonquakes, which is a little bit different than, of course, the earthquakes that we have here on Earth, but we get moonquakes and it appears that it rings like a bell. Just a baffling syndrome, though. Crazy how you can still have gravity effect even on the moon. There's a sixth of gravity on the moon. It's all from mass, though. Everything has mass. Every object itself has mass. Does the moon have a liquid core? No, it's mostly a solid iron core. These are really awesome impact craters right here. Nothing like just way too crazy. It's just almost uniform in this area. You see some that are a little bit deeper than others, though. Really beautiful view right here. Turn off the 5001. Show me some aliens playing hopscotch. Oh my goodness. That'd be pretty wild. Even Rob has gravity up. Even we have gravity. You would think it's hollow if it rings like a bell. No, it doesn't have anything to do with that. The difference is there's no water inside the crust, so it's not baffled. water baffles a lot of stuff here. And this is actually noticeable here on Earth, like in the deserts when they have earthquakes. Like, for example, you go down like into Mexico, you hear the earthquake much louder than you would hear somewhere like here in the Midwest when we have our earthquakes. When am I going to show Kepler 22? When Kepler 23 gets here. The moon actually creates a bulge on Earth. Yeah. And we create a bulge on the moon. It's actually interesting. So, like, when you think of the tides, even in the ocean, the moon controls the tides, but its tidal force on us also may pull our crust up quite a bit. I can't remember exactly how much, but like I think it was 4 to 6 feet, if I remember right. Yeah, about 3.6 centimeters per year, roughly 1.437 inches per year it leaves us. Still sun blocks everything else but the moon. I must have missed something. Not too sure what you meant there, Kiki. I must have missed some kind of conversation up there. Or what I said. Can you explain how the full moon makes crypto go up? I don't know. I can't. I don't know. In Southern California, I don't hear earthquakes anymore. That's pretty interesting. Do you believe the lunar cycle affects humans and animal behavior? It's kind of the two-part here. So, the lunar cycle itself can have a huge effect because of its illuminance, just the luminous property, especially when things around us get illuminated. But does it have any effect on us, like as far as any other force? Not that we know of. There's no scientific evidence to say there's any other force besides the luminance of our surrounding. Let's put it to you this way: we need the moon. We do need the moon. We definitely do need the moon. It's really a requirement that we have the moon. It keeps us in check when we're rotating around on our tilt. Obviously, we're not going to wobble, right? That's one major thing. The next main issue is if we didn't have the moon, our waves in the ocean would be insane. Like, they would be massive. There you go. No, they don't actually have any effect on women at all. Women's cycles ain't even 28 days. They're actually very different from one person to the next. Have you seen the ISS through telescopes? I have. Make sure I'm keeping up here. I heard our planet can fit in that red spot in one of the planets. Forgot Jupiter, and about 11 to 13 of our planets can fit in the Great Red Spot. Let's put it to you this way: we need the moon. We definitely do need the moon. Is that the max zoom? No. I'm trying to keep up here. I appreciate it, Cosmic. Appreciate you, bud. Can you show the SS live? One of these days we'll be able to. I did set up the computer system that runs all the equipment here to track the ISS, so I'm pretty excited to do that. We'll see how it goes. I'm getting all the questions up there. Hopefully I did. I think so let's kind of go back to that one. A lot of people take the full moon as being something more than it is, and some people will say, well, we're made out of water, so it has to affect us. But that would imply that gravity changes when the moon gets large. But we know that's not true, because gravity comes from the amount of mass that it has, and it don't change mass just because it's a full moon. If they ever had more than one moon, would Earth be more volatile? It's a good question. It depends on too many factors, way too many factors involved there. We would somehow be stabilized at this point, though. We do, and I should add this too, we have quasi-moons, so we got actually multiple moons with us. Quasi-moons are temporary moons that we capture, mostly going to be like asteroids, for example, and we'll take one that we captured not too long ago. It's going to be like Kamo'olawa. Kamo'olawa is a captured moon or a quasi-moon that Earth had. In fact, I think at one point we've had quite a bit of them. Looking at my telescope, how do I tell which lava bed is the Sea of Tranquility? So if you see one that looks almost like a seashell, do you see the seashell? That's going to be the Sea of Serenity. Hey, Urbans, what's up? So if you see the Sea of Serenity, then depending on your telescope, because some telescopes are reversed, some telescopes are mirrored, some are both. They'll be reversed and mirrored. But if you can see the Sea of Serenity, which looks like a seashell, there's a really big sea off to one side of it that has the Bay of Rainbow, and it looks like a shark took a bite, so go the opposite way. And then you'll find the Sea of Tranquility. Sea of Tranquility has what looks like a little boot that comes out. That boot itself area is going to be called the Bay of Roughness. Yeah, Kamalewa did leave. I think we still have a few others though. But we capture asteroids very frequently. It's a very common thing for us to have captured asteroids in orbit around us. Sometimes they're here for a little bit of time, like 8 months, for example. Sometimes they'll be here for a very short period, maybe 1 month. Wobbly, I must have missed something. Are we looking for life on the moon? I mean, that's always going to be a thing, right? We're going to check like the ice areas, like for example, near the south pole of the moon. These areas have ice water, and so checking there if there was ever life exist in that area would be a great question. You see the moon during the day? Yeah, I'm going to say daytime moon. So roughly, almost all the time, you can see the moon during the day, unless it's a little bit too close to the sun. Then obviously it's a little bit harder. But usually you see the moon in the day because it's out a little bit longer than the sun itself is. Let me keep going up here. A second moon would stretch the first moon towards second moon. Yeah, it just depends. Like stabilization would have occurred. Let's kind of go backwards a little bit too. There may very well have been two moons when our moon did form after Theia impacted Earth. There very well could have been two moons. That's part of the hypothesis as well. But it really just depends, though. It depends on how far away is it, how large is it, and then its orbital, the orbital mechanics of that moon compared to our moon. So there's just too many equations to add in to see would you be able to put a second moon in. How many humans have officially set foot on the moon? 12. But then we have another human on the moon named Shoemaker. Scientist Shoemaker's on the moon in the form of ashes. Brian just created an atmosphere on the moon. I mean, hey, you're going to have to get some wild stuff going to get an atmosphere on the moon. Solve the moon's magnetic field alignment. It just don't have a magnetic field. We find magnetized particles on the moon, but we don't have a magnetic field around the moon. We still got 7 quasi-moons, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I think at one point, I think I can remember us having like 13 quasi-moons. It's just wild. I don't think we have Kamalewa anymore. I think it's already slung shot out. Why are all the craters the same depth? They're not. You can see here in some of them, they're a little bit deeper, some are a little bit more shallow. And it's a lot easier sometimes. Let's kind of go over and try to point that out better. I'll get us some more light too. But the thing is, when you're talking about something that the depth of them is going to be like the depth of like sand, I'm going to get some more light. Basically like sand grains to the deepest impact crater on the moon being 7 miles deep, which is going to be Aitken Basin, which is near the South Pole though. But you can see the difference in the depth here, especially on the ones that are on the edge. You can make out a little difference. You can see Mercury and Venus, but only at sunrise and sunset. Yeah, because they are the planets closest to the sun, obviously. Mercury's super hard. Mercury, you really get about 30 minutes window. Every now and then you'll get like a 30-minute window, of course, to be able to see Mercury. Really hard to do. Moon dust was a big problem for the spacecraft. Yeah, it's really sticky. And it's very, very sharp. When we talk about the moon dust, it's super sharp. It's basically like glass. Little pieces of glass. Yeah, it's all magnetized. So like you think about like just the difference in how things are here to the moon is just mind-blowing. Oh, you got a wall of clouds just came out of nowhere. Now I can't see the details of the moon. That's what happens. You get the telescope out and that is exactly what happens, huh? Seems about right. Does seem about right. Here in the observatory, it's really nice. I can literally shut down the telescope, close it all up and stuff in roughly about 2 minutes. It's super nice for that. Does the moon have similar or same elements as Earth? About 96% of the same isotopics that we find here on Earth. That leans a lot towards how do we know that the Great Impact theory, it was a Great Impact hypothesis. How does it become a scientific theory? And a lot of that comes up. One, it moves away from us about 1.437 inches. The isotopics are so close, yet they don't match exactly, which you would expect much higher match if it was something that formed here locally with us. When I say us, our beautiful planet, the Earth. But to find something that's about 96% suggests maybe something else impacted, and we find a little bit of that material as well. Leap it, so to speak, yeah. Yeah, for sure. That always happens, yeah, dude. Never fails. Get out the telescope and the clouds come. I've had times like just standing out there and streaming and just hear some weird noise in the background, then realize it's just rain coming up behind me. I didn't realize it. Is it hollow? It's not hollow. Not hollow. If it was hollow, it still wouldn't be hollow because it crushed in. The moon always has so much tidal forces on it, that it wants to crush in on itself. And these are the reasons we see like the moonquakes, for example, the cooling off factor plus the tidal forces that we have cause it to want to collapse in on itself. But it's an iron core. It's a really small iron core though, relatively really small. Setting up a telescope's like a curse. That tracks out. Buying new telescope equipment is definitely like that though. When you buy new telescope equipment, it's definitely a curse. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Definitely happens. And by the way, hey, if you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're new to YouTube. I'm excited to be here. It seems like it's really fun. You guys are absolutely awesome. It hasn't been too wild with all the flat earthers, obviously. But I'm excited to be here on YouTube. And again, I'm new over here, so I'd appreciate it if you guys wouldn't mind hitting this subscribe button. What is it, Rick? Well, there's two things there. So you were talking about it being what you thought was hollow. And so the question is, does it have to be hollow to make a ringing noise? And that's not necessarily what we see and what we hear and what the science actually shows us. We know it has an iron core because we can actually study these things through seismic waves. But the reason we hear view what appears to be like a ringing noise is because of things impacting or a moon quake. And what happens here is it don't have all the moisture in the crust like what we have here, which causes it to not have a buffle, that buffling sound barrier per se. Because how life only exists because we are in the Goldilocks zone. It's not necessarily true because moons could have life as well. When we think of moons, like for example around Jupiter, we got Europa, and Europa is a very good candidate to actually have life on it. So it doesn't have to be perfectly in the Goldilocks zone from its star to actually have life. Or a simulation on a 2D disc being projected in 3D form. Dude, you're definitely something. Oh yeah, it'd be missing a lot of mass if it's hollow. Absolutely. Yeah, and we talk about it again. Like, so for example, like the moon itself has a bulge it pulls towards that we've actually pulled out from it. But it would just crush in on itself. Do you think countries will compete for supremacy in space by creating a base on the moon? Not really. I don't think so. There's two. When we talk about space, for the most part, all countries work pretty well together. That's a cool thing about science. Science doesn't really care about politics. They don't care about beliefs. What it cares about is finding evidence. NASA just admits life on Mars is visual. No, not true. We actually seen a rock that had some stuff on it, and this was actually back in 2021, by the way, that had some kind of weird whatever. But we have not found life outside of Earth yet. That rock is going to be very interesting to bring back, though. There has to be a safe way to get it back. Europa is the moon. Yeah, Europa is the moon near Jupiter. I must have missed something up there a little bit. Escape velocity, yeah. No, that's not true. We know and discover more about it. So that's not actually true at all. We can only see so much about space. We're still learning every day when it comes to astronomy. We know roughly 80-something% of our ocean has been mapped now, where when you talk about space, we've only seen somewhere around 20%. It's pretty wild to think about it that way. What would happen if China claimed the moon? No one can claim the moon. For example, like, you know, people can buy stars, right, and then have your name put in a book. It's fraud. That's actually fraud. No one can buy anything off of our beautiful planet. Space itself, objects in space are not for sale. Armenians will increase to infinity. Possible. Big Crunch would be very interesting if that's the concept. There's several different, obviously, thoughts of what would the end of the universe be. It could just go dark. Energy could just stop. It could be the Big Crunch. It could be the Big Fold. There's a lot of different thoughts. Something we'll never be able to actually say. It's similar to, is there more universes out there than just our universe? The cosmos, right? We don't know. We can't get to the end of our universe to look out. Light is the fastest thing that we know of. For example, we know that light is super fast, right? And we don't have anything that goes faster than light. So in order to get to the edge of the universe, we'd have to be faster than light. We just can't do it. So even seeing outside of our universe or the cosmos, just impossible. Expansion. Expansion is faster than light. Light is the fastest that we know of, but expansion, the universe itself doesn't have to follow its own rules. So the universe expansion itself is much faster than light itself. Do you believe that we will eventually colonize Mars successfully on a small scale at least? It's possible. This is very possible. Always thought that for no reason that the country that owns the moon has a country that is over. Yeah. What is dark matter theory? If you have any idea, that's a great question. What is dark matter? No one really knows. We don't exactly know what is dark matter. There's some things to me too that say, does dark matter even exist? There's a lot of stuff that suggests dark matter, obviously, but then there's a lot of different things coming up lately that just makes you wonder, does dark matter actually exist? I gotta focus the telescope real quick. See if we can get a better focus. Dark matter, by the way, is just through mathematical equations of observations that are created. And it accounts for the matter that we cannot visually see, but we can see its effects. I'm not getting a very good focus at all, but not too bad. A little bit off. Always thought for no. I got that one. I got that one too. Have you seen a video of an orb sucking plasma from sun and then took off at high speed? I have not. I've not seen that one. You gotta be cautious with AI nowadays. AI is getting pretty tricky. Mention from another universe faster than light, we cannot see it. Wow, never thought about it. I mean, if it went past you, then you'd have light, right? It's just really tough though. Like, could you ever possibly prove like string theory, for example, or whatever? Like, how can you find another universe? Well, the truth is, you got to be outside the universe to find another universe, unless universes collide somehow. Which probably wouldn't be a good scenario. It's pretty wild thought though. Where in the world am I? San Diego. Where in the world are you, San Diego? I'm in Kansas City, Missouri. Never see it till it hits you. Yeah. You'd see the light afterwards. Quite a bit afterwards too. Because we don't even know what does the edge of the universe look like. We don't even know. It may not look like anything. It could be something. We don't know. This is Saturn or the moon. Right now the moon. We're looking at our moon. Yeah, it'd probably be a lot of energy. Very possible. It's hard to say though. Honestly, it's really hard to say. This is going to be Tycho crater. We're looking at Tycho crater right here. This is named after Tycho Brahe, a Danish astronomer. Roughly about 63 miles wide, 2.5 miles deep, and 108 million years old. This is the youngest, largest crater on the moon. Have you ever seen the Lime wave on the moon? There's not really in that perspective. There's a couple of things that are called waves, and that's typically atmospheric, though. Yeah, there's so many impact craters on the moon. So many impact craters on the moon. It's amazing to look at the moon. I'm late for this. I don't know if this is real, but if it is, the best live I've came across. I appreciate you, Jeffrey. You can see the telescope on the bottom. I can go tap it if you want to see, like, the moon move. Obviously, when I tap it, show you that it is live and real. Hey, thanks, JB. Have a good night. Los Angeles. Hey, I appreciate you being here with us. Nature protects the speed of light by slowing down time for objects that are moving close. Yeah. That can be definitely pulled and tugged on. Like, time itself can be funny too. We start talking about the fourth dimension, we're really getting out there. Hey, thanks, Jared. I appreciate that, bud. Appreciate you, bud. Hey, from Wells, UK. What's up? How's it going? You guys got clouds, huh? It wouldn't take me long to realize. He said UK. I'm guessing clouds immediately. How's your skies? Cloudy. Oh, it's a UK. I want to try to do a little better focus again. See if I can pay attention on the focus for a second here. Maybe. Oh, that's horrible, ain't it? I can't tell if I did better or worse. Clear sunny for once in Scotland. Wow. What's up, Nelly? How you doing, by the way? I can't remember your name. You told me the other day. I cannot remember it for the life of me. Lots of clouds as always. Yeah, there we go. Hi, Elijah. How you doing? Especially in London. Gotcha. Locals are going mad at the ball of fire in the sky. Okay, gotcha. It rains most of the time in Wales. Wow, that's crazy. One thing we know about our friends over in Europe, they hardly ever get clear skies. Hardly ever. It's just something that doesn't exist, apparently. Hey, what's up? Noni Murga, how are you doing? Glad to have you. It's true, yeah. Super true, huh? Is there any specific area of the moon you guys want to see? Let me know if there's anything specific you'd like to see. Ah, hitting the training for the RAF. Hard, so rested today. Nice. That's awesome. Hi, DK. How's it going? Alright, sounds good. Have a good night. Or have a good day, I guess. The rest of your day and your night. Netherlands, 9 months out of 12 are rainy and cloudy. That's such a boomer. Can you zoom in? We're really zoomed in. There's a lot of zoom for the moon. Look how much it is. We're actually really zoomed in. What's your thoughts on 3i Atlas? It's going to be a comet. Everything points to comet. I can see the guy in the mustache on the moon from Rick and Morty. Yeah, that'd be pretty wild. Yeah, absolutely. Rick and Morty is comical. Get back to the mountain ranges right here. These are really beautiful mountain ranges. Tomorrow night and the next night, these mountain ranges just look so good. This is going to be the Alpine Mountains that we're looking at now. Or Mount Alpine. What's an exact location of where we land on the moon? Which time? Apollo 11? That seems what you're wanting. We go to it. Sea of Serenity here. And then we go into the Sea of Tranquility. Over by the Bay of Roughness. You see the two small impact craters right in the center? The one on the top side. And then you just go up and to the right just a hair, and that's the Apollo 11 landing site. Whole new world, yep. What's the next location of where? Oh, no, okay, I got that one. What's the exact? I thought you said the next location. Yep. This is going to be the Apollo 11 landing site, or Tranquility Base right here. See how much darker it is in the Sea of Tranquility before you go up to the Sea of Serenity right here? Kind of makes out a line, right? Sea of Tranquility was most likely one of the last locations that solidified when we talk about the lava. What's a circle shape inside of one of the craters? The central peak. Like that one right there. Let me go to one that's a little bit easier to see though. But it's called a central peak. These are areas during impact. It depends on velocity and a lot. You'll see this in a lot of them though. But there's several different things that happen. So if you can imagine, like if you take like a bowl of water or go even out to a pond and throw like a rock in it, you'll see that little drip of water come up right in the center, right? And that's kind of what we see here. There's several different things. One, you get that little bit of that force that pulls something up right there. You got the impactor. Normally it's going to be like a comet or an asteroid. Asteroid nowadays is the most common thing. Then you get it to kind of dig in, sometimes push back up. Plus you get some of the debris goes up and comes right back down the center. There's quite a bit of different things that happen, but it's really interesting to see. You can see this on a tabletop sandbox too. Like if you drop a marble down on it, you'll see that little dip in the center. Apollo 11 one's a linear. Apollo 9 was a quote, one small step. Oh, there you go. Was actually written. Yeah, was written. Alpine Mountains as high as 3.1 miles. That's crazy, ain't it? From Origin, Washington. Hey, how's it going? I didn't realize it was in Origin, Washington. That's really cool. I didn't realize you're in Washington. So you get a lot of clouds too, bro. You get a lot of clouds over there. Got it. That's crazy to think like that, huh? People have actually been fortunate enough to walk on that thing. Really awesome. I want to get a telescope too. Oh, no way. That'd be cool. I hope you get one. Did they decide where to land, or they landed randomly? They were all decided. Everything was decided on. Most of us near the equator just because of communications, being able to communicate back, and it was all obviously happened in the daytime on the moon. I'm sure to believe that. Why not? There's a lot of evidence to show that. For example, we can reflect a laser off the moon and get the signal back from the mirrors that were left on the moon. They're called retroreflector mirrors. And not only that, but also you can look at Russia, Japan, India, China. They all take photos of the landing areas, actually the debris, the footprints, the flags, for example. And now we also have the lunar reconnaissance. Sorry, my voice about gone. The Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, the LRO, which takes high-def photographs and capture these same things. There was a planet in between us and Mars called, yeah, that somehow smashed us from breaking off. Alright, now we got the main. So the most common and likely scenario is that it didn't break off apart, but it smashed us, and there was a lot of an absorption, but a lot of the crust of Earth. Remember too that we're hot and molten back then, so it's quite a bit different than what we think of now. But the crust would have came out would have had a ring, very much similar to what we see of Saturn. And in that ring, a lot of iron would have started coming together, and the more iron you get, the more gravity, and just start collecting. So that's part of it. And then it goes off of different branches here that we're just not sure about. So could we have had two moons that formed in the same period, and so on? But the the great impact hypothesis would kind of break that down a little bit more. Note as the alligator on the moon. Oh, nice, nice. I got you. Very nice. Hey, you think we're going to get hit by asteroid in 2029? No. Oh, Oregon. Okay, Oregon, Washington area. I got you. You know the story. Very nice. Very awesome. Yeah, so that's the giant impact hypothesis, and that breaks down, obviously, and branches out quite a bit of what exactly happened during this period. These are the things that we're trying to find, what we're trying to learn. Haley the Comet, huh? I'm not that old, though. We're definitely out of focus, and I don't think I got it to go in focus for some reason early. It could be that it's just getting really turbulent right now, the atmosphere. That's very possible. It's getting very turbulent. See if I can focus a little bit more. Actually, it's getting worse now. We got to go the other way. Okay. That's getting a lot worse. The impact hypothesis where the moon was a molten state, right? The moon would have been molten during its formation. Oh, I'm going the wrong way again. What am I doing? Oh my goodness. Go the right way. Kind of hard sometimes to keep up with the conversation and pay attention while I'm doing. What's the best observatory in the world? Oh man, that's a tough question. Atlas really proves that they do a really good job. Obviously, it's a like a network of observatories. The newest one is really awesome, but I think, ooh, this is a tough one. The best observatory in the world. That's just too tough. I think it's too subjective. All right, good night, brother. Sounds good, man. Talk to you tomorrow, dude. Once see it's Catalyst, I got you. Did we get better focus or no? Or did I fall asleep too much here? Ah, I hit the wrong button again. Try again. Focus. If you guys ever use a telescope, it can be sometimes really fun to try to focus. Ah, thanks, brother. Appreciate you, man. Good night, bud. LWS and RWS. There you go. I mean, I think my observatory is one of the best in the world, but I know no one's going to agree with me. Heard someone use subjective when talking about space. Yeah. Subjective is obviously subjective, so is what it is. Hi, how are you doing? Welcome in. Yeah, it looks a little better. Got a little bit. No. Let's see. What do we want to go look at? Anybody got anything interesting you want to see? Any area of the moon that you want to see, Kiki? No, it's getting close to that time, bro. Which time? 2:47 a.m. Time for light, you mean? Europa? Yeah, it's not high enough for me to get. I think so. Appreciate that. Nope, I don't know what time it is then. Which time? Oh, it's 3 a.m. Yeah, yeah. Oh, witching hour, I guess. Probably what you're talking about. I got friends that are in the paranormal side, so that's kind of funny. Update guides to being subjects of science, yeah. Ghost time, yeah. Witching hour or whatever it is. Yeah, I got friends in the paranormal and they get kind of funny. When it comes to stuff like that, like 3 a.m. We kind of come right here. Check out this impact crater right here. You can see the sun shining up on the rim on the backside and just see how dark it is. And this is actually really interesting. So the shadows on the moon are completely different than what you would expect here on Earth, obviously. Here we got the atmosphere, so you put your hand like in the shadow here, you still see it. But on the moon, if you put your hand in the shadow, it's gone. You don't see it. Never seen anybody have Peter booking the moon or anything in space. That's not controlled by some part of the government agency or something. I appreciate you. No, I'm not. There's another primitive habit we have from long winters in the past. Basically, we slept at 5 to 6 p.m. and woke up at 2 to 3 a.m. We slept in shafts. I got you. That's crazy. Have a good scientific method? Well, the only method that's really good is obviously scientific. Scientific is super important. The scientific method is very important to us in science. Check out the feature right there. You guys see it? This almost looks like a face. Can anybody see that or no? Looks like a couple of eyeballs and a nose coming down. Almost like a Simpson type character. Peer pressure. Nice. Yeah. You want to see a cat on the moon? You got the cat icon. You want to see what looks like a cat on the moon? Let's see if I can get there. I'll give you the black cat on the moon here. It's a sea of showers. Then we're going to go down into the area that's called the one ocean, by the way. So, kind of come over here. See where I'm at. I can get the witch on the moon too if we find it here. So zoomed in. Sometimes it's kind of tough to find stuff. Go the right way. Okay. Here'd be the cat on the moon. The head is on the top right side. You'll see the two eyes and the ears, and the neck comes down almost in the center to the left. You'll see the neck, and then right behind it on the left side of the head, obviously, is where the tail's at. So that'll be the black cat on the moon. Oh, go the right way. And you can see its feet down here. You guys see the cat? What kind of dark spot is going to be solidified or bosonic lava? It's solidified lava. Ancient lava. They're called seas, bays, and the one ocean on the moon. It's because ancient astronomers would look up and they thought it was water on the moon. You see it? Ain't that pretty cool? Just see the man on the moon? Yeah. Then right next to the cat, though, we can go to the witch right here. See if I can get her. Then we get her pulled in the view. So right here's the witch on the moon. You can see her two eyes, her mouth, and her hat. The hat's more like kind of to the top right. And then it goes down into her torso here. Then right above that is the diamond ring right there in the center. Newfoundland, there you go. It's a hairless from Egypt. Nice. So yeah, you got the witch on the moon right here, and right next to it, the black cat on the moon. And of course, you got the diamond ring. That's pretty cool. And there's our cat again. I'm bringing it back in. Right there's the cat. Seen it? First time seeing it? Yeah. Pretty cool, huh? It's pretty ironic. There is a witch on the moon, yeah. It's just looking at stuff, finding things that look like something, right? Have you ever seen anything moving? That shouldn't be there. No, it'd have to be really massive if I've seen it on the moon. Like the average impact crater on the moon is 20 miles, and look at this. Some of these impact, like that one there is probably closer to about 30. The one in the center, that's probably about 30 miles wide. So these are like small cities from this distance, that the zoom that we have. Looks like a boogeyman from Nightmare Before. Oh, okay, I get you. That makes sense. Let's see here. It's going to be Copernicus crater. Copernicus, one of the first scientists that came out and actually tried to suggest that obviously orbit around the sun rather than the sun orbiting us. But it was still a little off because he thought it was a perfect orbit, and that later got refined, obviously. The Plato crater right here, and there's quite a bit of difference in the way we view craters. So this crater here, Plato crater itself, is actually a lava-filled region. As you can see the darker mass in there. If you could take a camping trip to the moon, where would it be? Ooh, probably over by the Sea of Crisis, which is no longer viewable right now because of the phase. Probably Sea of Crisis though, for sure. Really beautiful. Down this way a little bit. We'll go to the Tycho crater again. Tycho crater is one of my favorite. This here is going to be Tycho crater. It's roughly 63 miles wide, 2.5 miles deep, 108 million years old. That's all be where he saw the witch. Oh, okay, that makes sense. All right, Jared, thanks so much for hanging out, buddy. I appreciate it. Have an amazing night. That's a wonderful crater right here. I think this is one of the probably my favorite impact crater by far on the moon. Definitely a beauty. There's ejector. You can kind of see the rays, especially on the top. So the ejector that comes out is roughly about 16. Oh, sorry, hit my mic. It's roughly about 1,600 miles long. Hey, Renato, how you doing? You can see some of the ejecta here going through some of these areas. All those little stripes going through here. All that debris that was blown out during the impact. You say moon dust smells like gunpowder. Yes, that's actually what they suggested, that it does have a have like a moon powder or sorry, gunpowder smell. That's from some of the dust that was collected on the these suits, because it's very kind of like a stickish material. It's not really sticky though; it's magnetic. And they said that it actually smelled like gunpowder, what some of the astronauts suggested. Those lines are sea stones. I like it. Yeah, we call it ejecta. The term is going to be ejecta. Debris that was ejected during impacts. Here's a really interesting one, because some people suggest that all the impact craters are the same depth, and you can see here clearly that's not true. Especially if you look at the one near the middle and then go up just a hair, it's not that deep at all. And then the one down here is really massive. It's really deep. And we see anywhere between a sand grain depth all the way down to 7 miles, the deepest impact crater on the moon being 7 miles itself. Yeah, the shading, it's crazy. We just kind of spoke of that too, is the shade on the moon, because there's no atmosphere, there's nothing kind of like bending light around. So whenever you're in shade, you're in shade. You don't see nothing. You put your hand in it, you don't see it. The space wind blows. No, no, no. It's not like that. It's funny though. I like that. That's pretty comical. I think just in this area, just the amount of impacts you can see right now says a lot about our moon. No way a dormant volcano can be reactivated on the moon, right? So no, the way that the lava got like on the surface of the moon that we see is because of giant impacts. So mostly comets that did those large areas, and then also from asteroids, but they would impact and kind of open up the crust a bit. And the crust ain't that thick. It's about like 40 miles deep. And this mostly happened during the right before and during the Great Bombardment period, which is a long time ago, obviously 3.7 billion years ago. Have you ever seen any anomalies on the moon? No, it'd have to be something really big on the moon for me to be able to see it. While lightning in space, not really in space per se, but there's areas that can have lightning. For example, places that have atmosphere tend to have them. We see static electric charges on stuff like the moon, for example, because of solar winds. When I went to space camp 30 years ago, they told us that 1 inch cubic foot of the moon's surface area is enough nutrients to make a Big Mac, large fry, and a soft drink. Dude, have you ever had a Big Mac, large fry, and soft drink? Not good nutrients, though. I'm joking. I don't know anything about that saying. I wouldn't eat anything on the moon personally. It'll be very radioactive. It's not going to be a good meal. It wouldn't be a good meal at all. But there's a lot of isotopics that we find on the moon. About 96% the same as what we find here on Earth. Yeah, definitely. I don't. Ah, man. It doesn't even sound like a good meal to eat, to be honest. Like, after I eat a meal like that, I don't feel good. That's too funny, though. That's really funny. See how smooth this surface is. This is really interesting. It kind of goes to some of the things is we know the moon gets impacted now, roughly about once every 10,000 years. When we talk about large impact, by the way, roughly once every 10,000 years. But the moon itself actually gets impacted all the time. Probably within the last 10 minutes, it got hit 3, 4, 5 times. Follow the telescope. It's at C11, 11-inch Schmidt-Cassegrain grain. Hey, have an amazing night. It is. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out, by the way. Have a super amazing night. You feel like it's something off with the world, like the moon? I mean, the zoom comes from your eyepiece stuff, right? This is our zoom currently. This is the zoom that we have. I don't know what you mean by something off. I honestly don't know that. The telescope, it's a C11. Here, I'll type it in for you. There you go. Nice to see something new for a change. Yeah, I agree. I definitely appreciate having you all here. I really do. Hope you guys are enjoying it as well. If you could go back in time to a specific event to figure out how it was done, what would that be? Ooh. Man, that's a tough one. Like, I live in the moment in a huge sense. I mean, I think like the Jurassic area would be pretty fun to go to. Maybe that's just me, though. I don't know. You imagine walking amongst the, just taking even a T-Rex, for example. I think that'd be pretty wild. But yeah, no, I live pretty much in the moment, though. Room say Jupiter is a planet eater and Saturn is a timekeeper. That's interesting. So, Jupiter's rude, obviously. Jupiter likes to attack us here on Earth. A lot of people tend to, and we were kind of taught this when we were young too, that Jupiter's a protector. But truth is, Jupiter's a bully. Jupiter attacks us. It slingshots stuff at us. That's a 500 million mile long magnetic tail. And we talk about the asteroid belt, and it's the asteroid belt's there because of one, Jupiter kind of helped position it there between Mars and Jupiter, and then it likes to slingshot stuff at us. That's pretty wild. I don't even remember exactly where I was going with here. Moon, Saturn. There we go. Jupiter would have actually been closer to where we're located if it wasn't for Saturn. Saturn helped pull Jupiter out to its place now in the solar system, which is really interesting. Yeah. I don't know where I went with that one. Brain just started talking. Let me see the rest of it. And of course, the moon smells like a pattern project fishbowl. Ah, it really went down. That's funny. I got you there. That's super funny. You guys want to see how this all works? If anybody wants to see how the observatory works, anyways, see what I can do. You guys want? I don't know if my mic's going to block us. You believe the Earth's spinning like a million miles or something? Rotating, you mean? I assume rotating on our axis. I mean, we are rotating on our axis, but we don't say rotating in miles like in that scenario. RPMs, rotations per minute, is what you'd use. Not like things don't rotate at mile per hour. We call it rotation per minute or RPMs. Yeah, we rotate. We rotate relatively fast. In about 19 sols, a new moon will appear. Love it. In about 19 days, a new moon will appear. It'll be a little quicker than that, ain't it? New moon's pretty soon, actually. I'll have to look up exactly when we get the face. Look on the right. Top right. Uh-oh. Move it up. Top right. Oh, go the right way. Oh, I can see it. Looks like a danger face, don't it? I can see exactly what you're saying. That's funny. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's here. Kind of like that danger face. Let me pull up the next new moon for us. Next one is 21st. So roughly 10 days from now. Have you ever seen the campfires that I believe Michael Collins said he saw by going around the backside waiting? I've never actually seen that statement. Oh. Or they said the Earth rotates with like 14 million miles. What scares people? So we still, I think we go back to the same thing. We don't talk about rotation being miles, right? We talk about rotations being RPMs. And if you want to know that one, we rotate once every 23 hours and 56 minutes, roughly. Just about 24 hours, obviously. Wonder what the moon looks like from Mars. Oh, I mean, it's decent, right? So we can see both of the moons around Mars. And then ours much larger. We got the 5th largest moon in the solar system. Yeah, it's still the largest moon compared to the body that it orbits. But you would definitely see it. It would be there. One of the harder things you'll have is how much illumination with our moon when you're at Mars. We should probably put a telescope on Mars now. Yeah. Layers like 1 trillion miles. Way to a number. You forget what you're saying by the time you get to the number. I know. 1.7 trillion miles. So what a typical day like an observatory. Do you just babysit? And the equipment, do you have actual work that has to be done? Seems like a pretty cool gig. My day job's amazing, just to put it out there, I guess. But I don't know, it's pretty fun. The observatory is awesome. We got 16 telescopes in here. And of course, I come out here and play a lot of games too, I guess, on the computers. Why don't we have satellites orbiting the moon? We do. Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter does. What would 2 moons do to our oceans? It'll definitely affect the tides. But the question really comes down to there's too many variables missing. Where's the flag? Walmart, you can pick one up. Kmart. Depends on what country you live in. You can buy a flag at a store pretty easily. There's several flags on the moon, by the way. Not just American flags either. You can look up photos from like Japan, India, Russia, China. They all got photos of like the flag on the moon. Really cool impact crater here. You can see how illuminated the one ridge is compared to the shadow on the opposite, making it really a beautiful impact crater. So let me see where we're at. This is the Sea of Tranquility right here. So if you're talking about like the Apollo 11 flag, the first landing, gotta pull it down a little better. Look right in the center. You see the 2 impact craters. You got one kind of underneath, and then you got this little mountain path. And then one on top. The one on top, you go up and to the right just a hair. And that's where the Apollo 11 mission landed. How did other countries get flags on the moon? Through equipment. Not by person, right? So we're the only people, I should say the United States, the only country that's actually had people walk on the moon. 12 in total. 6 landing sites, so 6 of those. But there's equipment up there that obviously have flag stickers and whatnot. Yeah, tectonic plates here could be pretty wild. It's pretty crazy. I mean, it could have some effect on it. We don't know that the tectonic plates need a mouse pointer or something. I mean, I do. It's just a lot easier. Like, I lose my mouse all the time when I move it around too much. The tectonic plates, there's nothing that suggests, like, our moon actually affects our tectonic plate. You should have an FAQ bot. So I fear your brain will melt answering the same question 100 times a night. Dude, no. Not at all. I used to, so I actually originally was streaming on TikTok for a long time, and my nights would be very busy, anywhere around, I could even be up to like 15,000 viewers at once, and just commenting question. I'm enjoying this on the YouTube side, though, to be honest. I think this is a little bit more community, and your guys' questions are more on point, because on TikTok it gets a little wild. Are they going to put a new flag when they go back? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. How do you feel about the theory on the moon being hollow? It's not, so obviously that's why it's a theory, right? Not a scientific theory, I should say that. But it's not hollow, though. We actually know it's not hollow. Think they will ever go back? Yes, we have to. We got to get back in order to get to Mars. So you can look up the Artemis 3 mission. Artemis 3 mission will be the next landing on the moon. Artemis 2 will actually swing around the moon. And the 4 minutes we're shy. It takes 4 years to make day. Wow. Someone was asking about the observatory. Let me throw in my camera too. You guys can see how decent it is in here real quick. Inside outside camera, I think. But yeah, so here's me sitting in the observatory. This is the control room. Basically everything gets controlled, and it's super nice because we got air conditioning and heating in here. And then of course all the computer systems that run everything. This is basically how I'm moving the telescope here. And you can also do it right here. This is the same view, you guys, of the moon. And then chat, and of course chat up there. That's pretty fun. Oh yeah, I guess through the door right there. Right, so right about here on this back of this wall for the telescope we're using. And then there's other telescopes all around here too. Sitting in here that were just cleaned up. That's really nice. Super fun. Super awesome. This is very comfy in here. Air conditioning. Well, the flag would be a stronger rayon. It should be, because the current ones are already dimmed down. They're already dimmed down. They're basically sun bleed. Is that a good chill room? It's pretty awesome here. Everything's, of course, electronic, mostly red, as you guys just seen. Most things are red because obviously when you go out in the observatory, you want to look up, see stars. So it kind of helps keep your eyes focused on that night view. Unfortunately, just one light. Yeah, one light day away with us. Imagine how big, you know, that's super massive. I couldn't imagine actually. What's really fun, if you actually looked at the moon earlier, you can see the difference in the shadow already. How much the termination line has actually moved since we actually started looking at it earlier. Pretty cool. You can see the lower area here. This is a lower region on the moon. Use nerd for space. That's awesome. Are we observing the moon tonight, or is there more cool stuff you can show us? We did Saturn for quite a bit, then we did a little bit of Neptune as well. Right now we're looking at the moon, though. The only problem is, so the moon's in the Saturn and Neptune now are in the western side of the sky, where the moon's on the eastern side of the sky. So in order to get there, we actually got to flip the telescope completely in the observatory. So right now the telescope's on the west side of the pier, looking off to the east, and to get back to Saturn, we got to be on the east side of the pier and then look back off to the west. And that gets pretty fun on trying to find stuff at that point. But tomorrow night we should be able to do some more Saturn for sure. European Space Agency, pretty cool. You miss it? Come in tomorrow night. We'll get it. We'll get it tomorrow night. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be clear here, so we'll get it. Roughly in about probably 4 days or so, 4 to 5 days, we'll probably start with some galaxies, looking at galaxies and nebulae, and then swap over and do like planetary type views. Pleiades should be on the left. Yeah, Pleiades should be up. Better in space. That's gravitational velocity. Yeah. Growing physics Japan figured out how to transmit energy through high density. I got you, yeah. Have you ever spotted the ISS? Yeah. Particle lasers couldn't be powered up yet. We could ever figure out how to like interact with subatomic particles. That would be the thing. For like space travel, if we could figure out how to interact with subatomic particles, then I think we would figure out space travel a lot better. We're just not built for space travel, though. As mankind, we're just really not built for it. You have the equipment to look at the sun? I do. But I only have white light filters. I don't have like a hydrogen alpha or a calcium K. I got white light filters that allow us to look at the sun, to be able to view stuff like, for example, the sunspots. How much? 7 o'clock? Yeah, it'd be up there. I think we can actually see it right now in the camera, in the actual camera outside. Yeah, the whole thing isn't it? Yeah, we're just not built for space travel. I'm personally so hyped about. Oh, okay, I got you, Chris. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I think you can see Pleiades right here in the camera on the bottom. It looks like it. I can barely see it, but it looks like Pleiades right there. Looks like a little question mark. I can see the moon in daylight here in the UK. Yeah, ain't that awesome? Ain't that really cool? You can actually see it. Stop changing the environment to suit us. Start changing us to suit our environment. That's so tough, though. I mean, gravity obviously is our biggest issue that we have. All about the gravity. Gravity is the one thing that makes us very, very not so good at able to really get out there and travel. Just because gravity, it's the weakest force that we know of. Obviously, there's definitely stronger forces out there, but it's a force that can imply a lot. Dude, it looks like a Christmas tree. I got you. I see a question mark though. I think to me it looks more like a question mark. Okay, big job changing for space job. I got you. Our DNA from existing life to strengthen our own DNA. Yeah, but it's still going to come back to like just gravity is just wild, really wild. It's like kind of like you thinking of paper's just as bad as I need to bind to close all your apps on your phone. You have oh yeah, don't forget about the pressure of water will crush you like a bee. I mean gravity itself. Gravity sucks. When it comes to space travel, we're just not good. For example, people that are going to go to Mars ain't coming back. It's a one-way trip, and it's going to take a while just to get on to Mars. Look at the transit adapted to overcome. It's just tough though, Bob. We're just not built for it. Our bodies ain't. It ain't so much the DNA as much as it's just our muscular system. You just think about it, like when we get away from gravity, our bone marrow starts to dry up even. But a lot of things happen. Even people on the ISS when they like the longest they've been on in the course of a year. But the thing is, like that's 86 to 87% same gravity we have here. They still got quite a bit yet. They get that weak when they get here. Yeah, muscle deteriorates. It's just crazy. Too much happens. What's the price of $10 biscuit? $10. Why is it on a one way if it only takes 6 months to get there? Because of gravity. Loss of gravity for so long. Been too much time there. We got a pretty strong gravity field here. Kind of like the moon. If you go to the moon, it takes you 3 days to get there. Spend a little bit of time there, and then you come back. Right, it takes 3 more days. Obviously, you can get there much quicker if you want to get to the moon. It takes about 12 hours, but you don't really want to do it that way because you'll overshoot it. But a lot easier to do. Our chromosomes are the coding that dictates our strength, and I mean, everything does. That's why we exercise, right? Like gravity really means a lot to us. I have right to say about the price. You said earlier $10. What's the price of $10 biscuit? Well, it'd be $10. Must have missed something there. It's just tough. We're just not built. We're not really well built for space travel. And I don't even personally think mankind really needs a space travel. Like there's certain things we need to get to as mankind. But we got such awesome equipment now that it's tough to say, let's risk a person. Artificial gravity may be a thing. I doubt it. While we zoom into the moon, did you find any aliens dancing there? No. We're just hanging out with the moon in it right now. Imagine a life form that can revert its age. Immortal jellyfish. Oh, that'd be pretty wild. That sounds pretty wild. I could do that. Hopefully we get better with space travel, obviously. Like, the future holds a lot of awesome stuff, I'm sure. But with the current understanding, the current technologies, we're not there. I definitely would prefer to put equipment in space than throwing us out there. You know, still the ground age river. Plastic comes under. Yeah, it's a little wildness right there. Have you seen the movie Life? Ooh, I think I did, but it was a long time. Like a long, long time. I don't really watch too much, though. But I think I did watch Life a long time ago. One of the reasons you love Star Trek? Yeah, Star Trek's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, Star Trek's pretty cool. I think Star Trek's much better than Star Wars. I said it. If you like Star Wars, I just called you out. Immortal jellyfish. The real species on it. Organism. Nice. Organisms are laying in Samsung Ultra from space. They're chilling. Oh no, I got you. It didn't repeat on myself. I didn't see it repeating. Looks okay. Star Wars just. I got you. I like it. I don't know. I like Star Trek personally. I don't really watch Star Trek, but I've watched some. I prefer Star Trek over Star Wars. And when that raises singles out, the spaceship. Yeah, you guys are getting way too much into biology. American science fiction, Star Wars space opera. Well, for equally good, not Disney Star Wars. Ah, that makes sense. Like, I like Contact. I think Contact is probably one of my favorite space movies. But then I get a lot of people dislike me for this, but I did not like Interstellar. It put me to sleep. Really did. Yeah, War in Space is definitely studio. Yeah, I agree with that one. I definitely agree with that one. I need someone that can just control the telescope, move us around a little bit so I can actually pay attention and talk. I am bad at this. Let me turn off the tracking. So if you guys wonder how this works, the telescope actually tracks objects in the sky. I want to turn it off real quick and we'll see it kind of move on us here. We'll enjoy the movement. This is going to be Earth's rotation at this point. A little bit of obviously the moon's orbit, very little. But right now you're watching mostly Earth's rotation. Write a macro. Do that be smart. That'd be really smart. I should check into that. Of course, I would have to do something to make sure it didn't leave the moon. Right now, we're just letting the telescope just sit still and not track anything. Pretty wild how fast we're rotating, huh? Ball cap and Trekkie. Ah, okay. Like the ball cap. I'm not bald. And imagine the first people who invented telescopes saw the moon for the first time. They didn't actually initially. It wasn't even a telescope that they used. They're just literally a kind of like glass. Cat on the moon again, right there. Let the cat come through. It does rotate pretty safe. Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's really interesting to see like how fast we are rotating. We tried to stack an image here. You guys want to do a little stacking on one of the impact craters? If we can get a Tycho in the, we can stack Tycho and try to get the like a high def photo. You guys want to try that? So this is gonna be Tycho crater right here. And I'll try to stack it. Stacking, basically what it's going to do is every frame of our video that we're getting, it's just going to keep adding them on top of each other so we get a lot better detail out of it. Let's try it. I'll line the colors and stuff here in a minute. We're already about 100 photos in. We can adjust it. Check that out, just how like detailed it looks. I thought it was yes when people said that. Oh, I get you. Yep. It always sets to the northwest. It does. Well, I mean, it depends on where you're located, but for me, yes, northwest. Pretty crazy impact crater, ain't it? Give a little bit of sharpness. Get a little bit clearer. Yeah, it looks beautiful. We got a beautiful moon. Really have it. We can go back to the live view. So go from the stack to the live view. You can see the difference in what you see. Technically, I mean, we're really bright. I could have dimmed it down. Really beautiful moon though. Optic sensor track, leave lumen. Put a cone around the center and the macro. Oh, okay. And a gyro. Dude, that's actually pretty smart. Actually, really. It would be kind of fun because obviously it's nice to look at the moon, but it's hard for me to read comments plus and then keep it all in check. I'll just kind of move it slow. It's a beautiful moon. It's really got stunning. We could be looking at the far side. I mean, not like it wouldn't look like this. We wouldn't have all the different colors. That's already 3:30 in the morning, y'all. Time is moving fast. Wonder. Barely up. Jupiter's barely up. Uranus is, let's see if we can hit. I don't know if I want to try it though. I want to sink the moon. We're going to try to hit Uranus. One wee. Off we go. If we can find it. I'll turn up some brightness. It'll be kind of tough to find it with it. A lot of brightness. In it there. If we can just swing around. One option. Oh, well. I just see. Let me do this actually. Closer target, that'd be. Get on, then we'll. This is going to be Pleiades, by the way. Someone asked about Pleiades. Let me get some of the stars. Has to be a Bartel. Located at. Okay. I want to probably. That by. Look on the map. We'll try for we'll try for Uranus. See if we can hit. Oh, I just seen it. Big one. Yeah, see it kind of streak through real fast. I'll try one more. Zigzaggy roll. It'll be tough. Oh, just seen it. It's so fast. Check out the Bartlesville Astronomy Society, the public library. People would adore it. That's really cool. I'll check it out. Come on, try swinging. And there it went again. You guys see it swing through really fast? Golly. It goes way too fast. Can't get to it. I'll try one more. On. R. Anyways, it's a blue dot. Guess we're not going to find Uranus. This would have been Uranus I was trying to get. You see the matrix? Yeah. It's just a brightness. Like whenever you want to find something like super, super dim, for example, let me pull them in. There's two ways to get them in our. So there's going to be a star right in the center. It's probably kind of hard to see. Obviously, you got the brightness tone, but you can really get bright or you can get it dark, right? The other way is to change the exposure, so we can start bouncing the exposure up a little bit, and let me take like a photo for example, 2 seconds. Then you start to see it a little bit cleaner and not be like the main. Obviously, anything dim, you got to get a lot. But that's what a star looks like in a telescope. If y'all want to see one. Went so fast. Yeah, I know. Things going so fast right now. Let me try one more time for you. Try one more time. I'll streak through. Oh wait, I got it. Usually we can plate solve, but I don't get the field of view to be able to plate solve, which actually puts us in space. Like if we were looking for Uranus, for example, or Pluto. Plate solve it. There went Uranus. There. Super bright one. Alright, back to the moon we go though. Because that is just going to be. Get it a little dimmer. I'll just take ourselves out again. Let's see how close. Maybe I can resync them. We'll just make sure we're at the center. Looks like a slingshot thing. Yeah. That's a group 4 stars. Here, let me center up with the moon. This will actually help us a little. Let me get to this. Then I'll help out a little bit on finding where. There's Copernicus. Let me try to sync like right here. Moon. Sync to it. Yeah. And we'll try Uranus one more time here. Hopefully we got it. There and more. I still don't see it. Open. I see that arg. Yeah, it's hoping we don't look like we're going to turn this. We have no sense of direction when looking up. Yeah, into infinity. There's no direction in space, obviously. In space, we don't have direction. Wing around. Go by it every now, like right there. That was it right there. Trying to get it to actually show up and stay in place. Be kind of tricky. And it went by. Alright, back to the moon. Now the thing. Sometimes you fail doing it. Turn off. Oh. Almost splashed us. Really have no sense of direction. Yeah. Now those crickets in the background, so peaceful though. Yeah. The ambient noise is still nice. I really like the ambient noise out here. But y'all, it is 3:30 in the morning. I'm ready to call it a night. I appreciate y'all so much for hanging out though tonight. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. I appreciate it. Tomorrow night, let me check. Let me make sure. I think we should be good to live stream tomorrow night. I'll verify that real quick. Yeah, tomorrow night looks good. Well, no, it don't, actually. It's good for like 2 hours and then it gets cloudy. It looks like it's cloudy all night. So tomorrow night's not good. But I will post in the deal. I'll try to leave a post. Let you know that if it is clear or not. If we're going to go live or not. I'll leave a post here on YouTube. Oh, no problem at all. No problem at all. I really enjoy being on here. You guys are absolutely awesome. YouTube seems to be a really fun environment, so I'm excited to be here, obviously. Clear skies to y'all. Have a good night or a good day, whichever it shall be. And we'll see you guys either tomorrow night or or Friday night, one or the other. We'll see. Clear skies, y'all. Good night. All right, I appreciate it. Thank you. Good night.